horses, dogs, birds, a misguided vet, and a bobcat that stuck to the wall. Just folks. 13 memories of the Witch in the Woods and other captivating people, gone but not forgotten. And you had to be there. 14 heartwarming tales like Fantasy on the Porch, An Ox Out of His Box, A Foot Fetish Catfish, and more. Recollecting times, places, people.
Titan football. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Lee Summit West High School presents Titan Football.
Time to go to work! Move it, move it, move it! Get off the ground! Come on, Titans, hit somebody! Woo! You gotta love Titan football.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West Titan football, another year. What number is this, Mark? 17, 18?
18.
18 for the school and 17 for us, I think.
Actually, it's 19 for the school. They opened in 2004, and we started it in 2005. So
Wow.
let's put it this way. The kids that are seniors,
Yes.
I think they were either just born or in the process of being born is how long we've been doing this.
And some of the freshmen were just still a glimmer in mom and dad's eye at that point.
Exactly.
So a new era in Titan football this year with a new head coach and a brand new scoreboard.
Yes, sir. That scoreboard has been something that they've been talking about, thinking about for a lot of years. And if you get a chance, come out to the ball game and check out the scoreboard, and then also keep us tuned in and bring your phone so you can keep up with us, and we'll let you know what's going on.
So obviously this week, getting started with the 2022 campaign Class 6 football once again, obviously for the Titans, and taking on a Liberty team that is very likely going to be an above average, probably not a state championship caliber team, but definitely on the top end in our own conference.
And they will, and you know, the coaching staff at Liberty does an excellent job. Chad, the head coach there, does a great job with the kids. He does an excellent job with the coaches and lets the coaches have a lot of input. And they bought into the program, and he has just built that program steadily. Now, you know, the competition on the north side of Liberty was Liberty North. They're still going to be a contender, but it's going to be a fun battle between those two schools this year.
I was about to bring that up because across town, you normally don't see this in the first week of the regular season, but you have what very well could be a if it were one of those situations where they were just going to take the two best teams, it could be a state championship matchup.
Right.
But since they're in the same district, it could be a district championship matchup with the two north side teams, Liberty North and Lee Summit North, and they take each other on today. That's going to be quite a barn burner.
It is going to be a barn burner, and it's going to be a hard-hitting ball game.
So we did have a chance, speaking of this new era, we've got a new coach. Willie Horn has taken over the reins as the head coach, only third head coach of the Titans in team history. Had a chance to talk with him in our coaches conversation. We'll get to that right now. It's the Titans and the Blue Jays from Liberty coming up. Here's our coaches conversation with Willie Horn right here on Titan Football. It's the coaches conversation. Joel Becker talking with Lee Summit West head coach Willie Horn as we get started on the 2022 Class 6 season here in Misha football. And first time, how you feeling today?
Feeling good. You know, you got a little nerves here and there, but nerves are always good.
So let's talk a little bit about this team. When I went through today and started updating my depth chart from last year to this year, there were an awful lot of blank boxes that I had to put new people in. So what's this team going to look like this year?
Well, we got a lot of young guys, young talent, but a lot of confidence in those guys. You know, they're ready and eager to play, and we fly around. So you're going to see a lot of speed, and you're going to see a lot of hitting and contact all night.
How has the practices felt like for you on this, leading up to today's game?
Really good. You know, we've had really good focus. Always a question, when school starts, how focus or how they'll be able to deal with the longer days. But really had a good, solid week of practice, so excited to see how we come out and play tonight.
So when you are looking at the team, do you look at it from more of a let's see what we can do perspective, or do you always look at who you're playing against and try and plan particularly for them?
I mean, you have to look at the talent that we play, in 6A football. You got great players each week, but I more so think about how we have to play, how we have to execute, because at the end of the day, I think if we do our job, we can be in any game that we're playing.
So obviously today we're playing Liberty. They're going to be an above-average team. We're going to have our work cut out for us.
Yeah, they got a solid coaching staff. They always do a great job of having them prepared, and they got quite a few kids coming back. So we got to make sure that we key in on our responsibilities, continue to do our 1 of 11. And, again, if we do our job and execute the play calls, I think we'll be in a good spot.
You mentioned they have a solid coaching staff. So do we, and that's something that have you, consider that to be, something that has been a huge advantage to you, having all this experience, or is it in any way intimidating as a first-year coach?
No, it's great, to have, I think we got 4 head coaches or former head coaches on our staff. So for me to have that and to be able to lean on those guys, for them to tell me when I'm missing something, whatnot, really helps our program be the best that it can be. So I love the experience that we have, and I'm excited to see how this season goes for us.
So what are the keys for tonight?
Play fast, play focused, and be physical.
And normally I ask if there's any injuries. This is the first game, so weather, though, it's a little bit warm. Really, the wind's not going to be a factor, I would imagine, other than your, little water breaks that you get. It shouldn't be much of an issue.
No, we actually got a little overcast. Earlier I thought it was going to be an issue, but right now it feels great. And I think our kids have been taking care of their body, so hopefully we won't have any issues with any cramping or anything like that. But excited to go.
All right, undefeated so far. Looking for a great game. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, that's Coach Willie Horn. I'm Joel Becker, and this is Titan Football, a presentation of Backboard Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
Got a message for you. Radio is the way to go if you want to advertise. Targeting your customers, any shape or size. Radio is a perfect way to tell them who and where you are. They listen at work, they listen at home, and you got them in that car. You got to go with radio when you want to advertise. Here we go. Watch me now. Hard rock and soft rock and easy listening too. Up and down the dialer formats just for you. Country, classic, talk, and gospel stations. Every market across the land has got a station for your situation. The cost is low, and radio is theater of the mind. You can present your information with imagination. If you want to get your message across the airways with radio. Call them. They will come right over. Remember, you got to go with radio when you want to advertise. There are lots of stations just your size.
Excuse me. Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Mark Files. The Lee Summit West Titans getting set to make their first appearance on the playing field here in front of a rather raucous crowd waiting for them to appear. It's been one of those weeks, Mark. We lost Lenny the Cool earlier this week, and now I'm hearing that we another in our case, big Lee Summit West fan has passed away.
We did. We lost Royce Bame's mom. She passed away this week, and she was, from day one, probably one of the biggest fans of this football program, and did a lot to support Royce and the family and the coaches, and of course her grandsons, Evan and Tyler, who came through the program. So services are Sunday in Boonville, and just want to make sure that we mention and remember her, because she was meant a lot to a lot of the coaches and the players through the years.
Absolutely. That reminds me, I got to find a Boonville score throughout the day, because Royce. Got to keep him up to date. So obviously, like I said, it's kind of a new era in Titan football. As you could hear in the background, the Titans coming onto the field, a very excited group of rather young Titans. And, I really can't think of a time in Titan history where we were going into the season with so many unknowns, which is not a bad thing in and of itself. I mean, because that could be good, it could be bad. We don't know how it's going to be. It's throughout the years, that aside from literally year number one,
right,
the school has been such a powerhouse. Even in the years where we, didn't necessarily make much of a splash in Class 6 as far as the playoffs were concerned, I can't think of a year we didn't go into the year as, certainly one of the top 25 teams, and usually in the top 10 or top 5 or who knows what.
Well, you're exactly right. And this is, like you said, the new era. The offense is going to change. It's going to be more ground focused instead of the spread. And so what they're doing is they're putting the offense together, the defense together to work with the skills of the kids they've got on the team this year. So it's a young bunch. They've got a lot of energy. They just need to know how to focus and challenge that energy so that they can have some positive success on the field.
The teams are right now waiting to head on out for the coin toss. The brand new scoreboard off to our left, which I don't know, are we going to get to see like replays and stuff on that? I have to break open the old binoculars and see what I can see sometimes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the replays, that's a mischief situation.
Yeah, I know they don't allow always.
They don't allow replays right now, and they are learning what they can and can't do with this new scoreboard.
So they do, on the other hand, though, still at least have your time out there,
12.
which waits until it gets to 3 minutes before they can go out and do this coin toss. I don't know if they actually did the coin toss earlier. They do the ceremony regardless. And the team captains for the Titans include Drew Wolverton, who's going to be their quarterback this year, and David Mayo, who we're probably going to see an awful lot of interaction between the two of them.
That is right. Drew's been and Mayo both have been disciples of this program all the way back to freshman year, and even Drew with 8th grade. And so it is their time to shine on Friday nights, and let's hope that they stay healthy and have a good, long, happy, and successful season.
And I'm going to apologize in advance. I guarantee you there is going to come a point in this season where I call our coach Willie Rofe, because his name is Willie and it's football, and that's where my mind goes to. So Willie Horn, though, is out talking with the Blue Jays head coach and the referee as they're getting their little speech that they always get beforehand, usually about sportsmanship and stuff like that before they send them away and do the actual coin toss. I thought he did a terrific job for his first little coaches conversation there. He seemed pretty natural, and it's funny because between the two previous head coaches we've had at this school, Royce Bame and, of course, Vinny Careswell, who is still a part of the coaching staff, they were almost always tied up in knots. And he seemed a lot more comfortable than the two. By the way, they must have already done the toss, before they came out, because they immediately went and said that the Titans won the toss and deferred. So we're going to get a chance to see the Blue Jay offense when we come back. It's the Titans and the Blue Jays. We'll get back to that Horn discussion when we come back as well. It's the opening kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backcourt Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Liberty to start off this season, the 2022 Class 6 Misha campaign. And looks like it's going to be Will Peacock doing the kicking off for today, at least to get things started. So Willie Horn, like I said, the previous two coaches, whenever I would do these coaches conversations, oftentimes were just tied up in knots, and Willie seemed a lot more comfortable. That's good to see.
It is always good to see, and we got some good stories about those guys being tied in knots, don't we?
We do. And stories about just how long it's going to take, to get through lunchtime and so on and so forth. Dominic Rebels back deep, along with Anthony Wenson for the Blue Jays. They switch positions, and the kick is going to come deep and into the end zone, almost all the way out of the end zone. Touchback, a nice kick there to get things going on the season for Will Peacock. And we'll get a chance to see this Titan defense taking on the Blue Jays offense to get things started here.
That is a positive right there, kicking that into the end zone.
Yeah,
that was something they were improved on.
Not much wind, the flags are moving a little bit, but not much. So, that was all leg. Do you have any idea? I'm guessing it's Kuchta. Christian Kuchta, C-U-C-H-T-A, is the quarterback for the Blue Jays. Wenson in the backfield with him. He'll get the handoff on the right side, breaks one tackle, barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage before he is taken down pretty quickly by the Titans defense. And some pretty good moving up on the play to get things going. Ryan Haynes from the linebacking position already with an early stick.
That is always good to see your linebackers active.
So 2nd and 10. Maybe they'll call it 2nd and 9 from the 21. From the shotgun back to throw. Throwing on the near side flat. It is caught. Hit nearly immediately. It takes about 5, 6, 7 guys. And falling forward to gain about 9 yards on the play is Ahumarazi. And that was just that guy is a load, isn't he?
He is. He's a big guy and a big target to throw to. It
was good coverage on the play. There were plenty of, Randolph was over there, one of the two, and there were plenty of people in the vicinity. But took 4 of them to get him down. So it's going to be 3rd and short. They stack the line. They give up the middle, hit in the backfield. He pushes forward, and I think he's going to get a first down. They should have had him stopped. He was hit in the backfield by about 2 yards. That was Wenson on the carry. And they're going to move the chains 1st and 10. Just got across the 30-yard line after the touchback, so that's all he needed. And that's just great determination. We did talk earlier this week when we talked with Coach Horn, and he said something about the team being just a little undersized on the line.
Well, and that's something you just have to focus on and just be quicker to your spots. Remember your leverages.
Yeah, well, they got there in a hurry. Give to Wenson up the middle for a gain of about 5. Maybe with the falling forward, they'll give him 6 or 7 up to the 38-yard line, 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, and let's call it 4 from there. But, that's the thing, is they got there in a hurry, but they just didn't have the size and strength to take him down.
And that's something that Coach Horn focused on. He says there's going to be a lot of young guys that are going to play this year, and they're going to get an opportunity to work on it, and they're going to have to figure out that this is why you get your time in the weight room.
Twins out to the right, man in motion that direction. Back to throw. Kuchta, he'll step up, throw over the middle. It is caught. Again, that's Ahumarazi. And that's going to be good for a first down up near midfield. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the midfield stripe. 1st and 10 opening drive as we've played about 2.5 minutes or so this first quarter. Still no score. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. No big chunks of yardage, but they have been able to move the ball. H-back on the left side. And the give again, Wentz in. He is hit in the backfield and taken down. As good penetration on that play for Boston Carswell, who got in the backfield. Or, excuse me. Maybe that was Haynes. I take that back. 52, not 51. And so that'll set up a 2nd down and 9 as he picks up about a yard or so up to the 48. Maybe 48 and a half. Again from the shotgun. They'll give it to Wenson, trying to go left side, and he gets around the corner. Hit and tackled. 2nd time in a row that Dylan Haynes got in there and made the play, but not before he was able to gain across midfield near a 1st down. It'll set up a 3rd down and short. 3rd and about 2. If the ball's on the 44, they got to get to the 42. First time in Titan territory as the crowd tries to encourage. They, again, looked like they were going to stop on their last 3rd and short play, but some good forward pusher by Wenson, who gets the toss again, hitting the backfield this time with a nice stick and taking them straight down on the play. And that was Wyatt Fredrickson, who came up with the stop. And it'll be 4th down. Probably looks like 4-down territory the way their body language is out there for the Blue Jays. On their own 45, they've got a 3-yard task to get if they're going to get a 1st down here.
Why not? It's early, man. It's the first game of the season. You're building for the playoffs.
Might try and draw them off sides as well. H-back Piscott sends out to the right side, man in motion. They'll give it on the jet sweep, trying to get around. Oh, great penetration. Hit and tackled for the stop in the backfield. Jackson Torrey, who comes up from his deep defensive back position, and a great little open field tackle. Actually lost a yard on the play. And the Titans will take over. Good field position at the 48-yard line.
That was outstanding coverage, and that is knowing your scouting report.
He said there was going to be speed, and there was at that. The run was by Dominic Revels, and they were trying that jet sweep, but he really couldn't ever get the edge. So we'll see the Titan offense for the first time. 6.5 minutes left to go. We played almost half of the first quarter. No score. First time the Titans touched the ball on offense. Man in motion as they send it out to the right side. Again on the end around, this time from one of the receiver positions. It was Torrey. This is Quincy Torrey. There's more than one on the team. And he gets around the edge and does get into Liberty territory inside the 45 to about the 44. It'll be 2nd down, and let's call it 2 from there. Good first play from scrimmage for the Titans. Brand new offensive coordinator for Lee Summit West as they toss it to the other Torrey getting around, and it'll be close to a 1st down, but the way he was spun around, I think they're only going to get him just shy. Well, he's right at the 42. Let's see what they do. Are they going to call it a 1st down or not? They may actually measure this.
It's going to be close.
I don't know. Eyeballing it looks like a 1st down, and after thinking about it for a few seconds, that's what the referee indicates as well. So the first down of the season. And so Mark, new offensive coordinator for the Titans. You mentioned they're going to have a little bit of a different philosophy.
A little different philosophy. You're already seeing it. It is ground and pound and use the speed that they have. And the OC is an old name. It's Coach Barrows. He's still there. He's just calling it this year.
Mayo gets his first touch going up the middle. And David gets to the 40-yard line, only a pickup of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8 from there. And it is kind of interesting that on those first 2 plays they did something other than go to David Mayo, because you apparently, and I think by that first play that he did get the ball, you can tell that the Blue Jays were kind of keying on him.
Well, they're going to key on him. And also, the thing about Mayo is he gets stronger as the night goes on. So he's going to continue to pound in between the tackles. He'll work around the ends when he gets a chance. But let's look and see what he's doing in the third and fourth quarter, punishing Liberty.
First pass throws on the far side. It is caught. Nice little spin move by Weigel to get out of it, and he'll get up to, let's see where they mark it, about the 33, maybe the 34. It'll be a couple yards shy of a first down, 3rd down and 2.
That was a nice play. I like that. Throw the little quick toss out there to the outside and keep the Blue Jays on their heels just a little bit.
Well, first throw of the game for Wolverton, and they gave him a play where he could get it out quickly. Man in motion again, and the give up the middle, big hole, breaking a tackle, gets a first down and more. Inside the 25 is Torrey. Quincy Torrey down to the 24-yard line, 1st and 10 Titans. They are also moving the ball down the field.
As the young guns move down the field or matriculate down the field, they're getting a lot of confidence.
So up front for the Titans, Careswell, Niehaus, Hall, Torrey, and Greer. Yet another Torrey. And the give to Mayo on the off tackle play on the right side. And David Mayo inside the 20, into the red zone to the 18. It'll be 2nd and 4 from there.
There is nothing fancy about the style that David Mayo uses to get up the field. He basically squares his shoulders and looks for somebody to hit and bounce off of and get those positive yards.
What are that, 3 Torreys on this team?
I believe there are.
Yeah. And they've all actually made plays already.
And we'd take a 4th. They're good kids.
Man in motion, and it is a toss on the right side. Torrey trying to get around the edge, gets inside the 15, down about the 14, should be close to a first down. It looked like he got it, but we'll see where they put the ball down. And he did, in fact, get a first down, 1st and 10 Titans inside the red zone on their first offensive possession of the 2022 season. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go, first quarter, still scoreless here from Titan Stadium. Appreciate you tuning in here on 810varsity.com as well as lswradio.com. Wolverton from the shotgun. Oh, he gave it to Mayo. Bit of a bobbled snap, but he did get it to him. That may have affected how quickly he was able to get to the line. Managed to get a yard or so. Down to the 13. It'll be 2nd and 9 from there.
You know, one of the things that Coach Horn told us was that they do have a quality kicker, so we always got to keep that in mind as well.
Shotgun formation. Wolverton with Mayo to his left. Now man in motion. Looks over toward the sideline. Play clock's down to 10. Mayo moves to his right. Man in motion again to the left. They may call timeout here. They did snap it, and we get a flag. It's going to be a touchdown pass, but this one's coming back.
Coming back, a legal procedure, right?
Yeah, well, he got an early start. It was the guy who caught the touchdown pass, which was Caden Carter, got about 2 steps before they actually snapped the ball. It is a lot easier to get open that way. I'll give him that. It's unfortunate because it turned out to be a great call in terms of the offensive play call. But it'll cost them 5 yards and set up a 2nd down and about 14. Ball back at the 19-yard line. Well, let's say 18-yard line. There just seemed to be a little too much confusion on that one, which is, that was the other thing that Coach Horn talked about with us, is that in this game, one of the keys and one of the things that will determine who wins is who makes the fewest, unnecessary or unforced mistakes, like false starts and offsides and things like that. Wolverton back to throw. He'll throw toward the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Miller, Derek Miller, and he had a step, and there was a little bit of a grab at his wrist. I don't know if you saw that, but nothing, no laundry on the field. Somewhere, on the other hand, Bill Warner is upset.
Just because.
It's like the Force. He could feel it.
I know it.
Wherever he happens to be with the grandkids. So it'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 14. We'll see if they go for some of it or go for all of it or what. Spinning play. They set up the wide receiver screen. It is caught, and a nice little trip-up play there as Craig managed to get just a bit of the shoestring of Damon Randolph. And it'll set up a 4th down, and here's the question. Do you take the points? Looks like that's what they're going to do. As they're going to bring the kicking unit in, it would seem.
That was a pretty athletic play that made there by Rudolph, going up and getting that ball and then getting downfield.
Gavin Weiner from the 18-yard line. It'll be a 28-yard attempt to get the Titans on the board here in the 2022 season. High snap. They get it down. The kick was wide to the right side. I'm not sure if they got a hand on it or if he just kind of shanked it. It was a bit of a high snap. And Cameron Arnold did a pretty good job to get it down. Now we get whistles. I think they're going to do the water timeout.
Break?
Yeah. Because I don't see any. They're just moving everybody off to the side. So here in August and September, the first 4 weeks of the season, they do an automatic water timeout. If you get a chance there, give us a look at the huddle that they've got going on there. And the only reason why I bring it up is because it's great to see. It's great to see the coaching staff a little bit more intact. First time, and how long has he been out?
Oh, you're talking about Limbo.
Yeah.
Limbo was out for a full year, but yeah, Limbo's actually he's upstairs this year, but he is back and on the sidelines for practice, and he is also getting the opportunity to coach the kids up. But they've got him upstairs because he's not quite back 100%, but he is way better than what he was. And we're glad to have him back.
Absolutely. All right, so Blue Jays take over 1st and 10 from the 20, and on the play action, big stick, incomplete pass. He had already dropped it on the play as that was intended for Rebels. And cooked it's a nice little play action, and he was kind of on his own out there on an island there in the coverage, but made a good stick, and it goes as an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. 1:47 left to go, first quarter, still scoreless, as missed 28-yard field goal. The first opportunity for the Titans to get some points in this game. Low snap, it was dug out well. Blocked by Fredrickson. Tipped it incomplete, 3rd down and 10. And already White's made a couple of pretty big plays.
Yes, he has. And you know what? The kid comes to play every day at practice. He comes to practice hard, and he comes to game days, and he's ready to play for sure.
Really the first time in the game that we're going to get a chance to see the Titans, pin their ears back and go after a quarterback. You would think, at least in a passing situation, although you never know. In high school, it can go either way, but back to throw. Cookta is going to throw on the far side and is incomplete. Good again. That was Fredrickson coming over to make the play. As over on the coverage was Huffman, and he was stride for stride.
We got a flag down.
Boy, are they going to call some sort of defensive pass interference?
They're going to call.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Titans.
Oh, man.
I sure as heck didn't see anything, did you?
No, I thought it was a pretty good play.
Yeah. I mean, the receiver looked like he was actually, it was again, Amarazi that was intended, and it's just tough. And boy, they're hearing it from the crowd, aren't they? I don't think they saw anything either. But I didn't see it. Maybe it happened earlier.
It could have been a hold. It could have been a grab.
First penalty, I think, on the year on the Titans.
Yep.
It'll give them a first down from the 35. Cookta will throw it on the far side flat. It is caught. Makes a move around one man is Revels, and he'll get out of bounds after a gain of 11.
Pass is complete to number 21, Dominic Rebels.
Maybe even 12 to the 47-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Blue Jays again moving out of their own territory. Last time they kind of stalled once they got into Titan territory.
The hardest thing for a defensive back is to forget the play or you get called for that penalty. Chance came up there, made a nice stop, was there to make the tackle, and just let him slide by. He's got to keep his head on a swivel and just keep going.
Another low snap, and not much of a run for Wenson as he got to the line of scrimmage, but there was really no hole there. And it'll be second down. Clock down to a minute 15 left to go in the first quarter. Scoreless game, Titans and Blue Jays. Opening week here from Titan Stadium. No jamboree this year. So we really didn't have a whole great look at what this team was going to do. Because I can't remember the last year they didn't have a jamboree. Low snap and a reverse, and trying to get around the end. Oh, great open field tackle again. It's Fredrickson as Rebels on the end around, taken way back in the backfield, all the way back to the 38-yard line. It'll be third and a ton from there, third and about 19. As another good play, penetration in the backfield from the Titan linebacking core, and again, it's Wyatt Fredrickson.
You know, Joe, you were talking about the jamboree.
Yeah.
You're going to go back prior to 2009 before they weren't doing something like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to say 2006, 2007 may have been the last time they didn't participate in one.
Wow. Class 4 days.
Well, they were after the 2008 Jamboree when they were up at Excelsior Springs and they lost C.J. Cobbins. There was debate whether they were going to participate in them after that at all.
There's only 2 seconds left on the play clock. They get the snap off, and it is going to be a keeper. And the quarterback Cook able to get up to about the 41, but he's going to be well short of a first down. It'll be fourth down and about 11 when we start the second quarter of play. 12 minutes of football in the books, and nobody has broken onto the scoreboard. Scoreless here at Titan Stadium. Back with the second quarter coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com. Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Mark Files here on Lee Summit West Titan Football. Titans and Blue Jays scoreless after one quarter of play. And it occurs to me, we love having all of our viewers over at 810varsity.com, but we do occasionally get some listeners at lswradio.com, and they've got to wonder what it is they're supposed to buy after those CMH Sports Performance commercials, because all you can hear is music. Those are commercials for Children's Mercy Hospital Sports Performance. Punting situation, fourth down and 11 for the Blue Jays as they switch sides. Low snap.
That knee was down.
And, they didn't blow it dead.
And they're going to throw a flag on roughing the kicker.
Are they seriously?
Yeah.
And that would give them a first down.
Running into the kicker.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't give them a first down.
Rugging the kicker called against the Titans.
But that would give them an opportunity to kick the ball again and get much better field position. So I'm sure they're going to take the penalty. Coach Horn is halfway onto the playing field trying to make the same point you did, which was that he had his knee down. The punter. And unfortunately, without those replays, I don't know that we can get that definitively, but certainly it looked like it had to bend down to get it. So it'll be 4th and 6 from the 49. They could actually change their mind, decide to go for it. Of course, the last time they did that didn't work out so well, but it looks like that may be what they will do here as the offense comes back out on the field. They need to get to the 38-yard line. Snap to Kukta. He's rolling to his left side, throwing left side. He's got a man. It's caught, and it will be a first down to Wenson. Gets inside the 45 down near the 40. A pickup of about 11 or so on 4th and 6. So, boy, what a turn of events there as we go to what should have been Titan football deep in Liberty territory after the, again, if you put a knee down in high school football, you're down and the play would have been over there. Even without that, the Titans would have had great field position because it wasn't much of a punt.
Right.
And yet instead, the Blue Jays still have possession of the ball at the Titan 40-yard line. Cookta tipped again and incomplete. As making a valiant effort was Amarazi.
Incomplete pass.
But couldn't quite come up with it after the ball was tipped coming out of the hands of Cookta. I apologize if I'm not saying his name right. Could be Kuchta. But I'm just guessing.
I am going to follow your lead, my friend.
First game of the year, and I didn't have a chance to ask the Liberty coaching staff how to pronounce their players' names because we were busy getting set up and interviewing coaches and stuff like that. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation, give. Up the middle, a little bit of a hole this time for Wenson. And he'll get inside the 40 down to the 36, set up a 3rd down and about 6 from there. Really a short 6. It's one of the first times that the front 5 of the Blue Jays were able to actually open up a hole against this defensive front of the Titans. They've been going mostly with 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. So 3rd down and a short 6. They bring the blitz and the throw over the middle. It is caught inside the 15, hit and tackled down near the 10-yard line. Ace Bindell with the catch, and it'll be 1st down and 10 from the Titan 11 for the Blue Jays.
That was odd on that defense for the Titans. So the ends came in, and all of a sudden they just went down.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, it's like they didn't want to sack him for some reason or something.
It's like they've been playing all week where you can't touch the quarterback.
Yeah. Coach is going to have to tell him there's no red pullover there. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. They can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. Shotgun formation, Wenson on the give, trying to go right side, looks for a hole. He is hit, spins his way up toward the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd down from there, a gain of about 6. Let's call it 2nd and 4. The initial hit there by Huffman, but once again able to bounce off of it and gain some yardage after the initial hit was maybe for a gain of a couple. He ended up getting 6.
Well, this ends up being a gut check for this defense. Yeah, you've been playing real well. You've kept the team off from moving the ball, but you got them right here down in your backyard in the goal line. You got to try to get a stand here.
Well, that would seem to be, I would imagine, the message that may be given to this Titan defense right now is at least Summit West has decided to call timeout for a 2nd and 4 play. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly why they did it, was to kind of just impress upon the kids.
Hey, you can hit the quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you hit the quarterback. Don't let up on him. Get your hands up.
You can at least try.
That's right.
So,
I still take exception with that special teams penalty.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that punter was down, fumbling with the ball, came up, and that defender had no clue whether he was running or kicking it.
Right.
Okay? And so he kept coming hard, and the kicker kept shortening that gap. And, yeah, I know the defender's supposed to keep their head on a swivel and everything, but I think that should have been a no call in my book. But
well, I don't agree with you. I think it should have been a call. I think you should have called him down when he had his knee down in the first place.
Yeah.
But other than that, I agree. 2nd down and 4. Shotgun formation. Wenson to the left. They fake it to him. Cookta keeps it. Hit as he got to the line. A nice little stick on the play. And that was Terrell Woods, the junior defensive tackle, stepping up on the play. And taking care of Cookta before he's able to get inside the 5. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 from there. Doesn't seem to be much of a running quarterback threat for this Blue Jay team. Trying to catch the Titans off guard. Third down. Cook again in the shotgun with Wenson to his left. Back to throw. Throws it to Wenson. He makes the catch. Hit and tackled again for no gain. Double teamed on the play as the Titans defense stepped up quickly once he made the catch and took him down. And it'll be fourth down. And it looks like they're going to bring their kicking team in and see if they can't do what the Titans could not, which is kick a field goal.
Nice timeout by the Titan coaching staff.
Seems like they almost knew what they're doing.
Almost. Still the first game. They're learning to.
So it is Ed Ozick out there to try a 21-yard field goal, and the kick is up, and it is good. So 8:50 left to go in the second quarter, and we finally get our first scoring of the game. I don't know if I can remember a Titan game in which no one has scored a point well into the second quarter like this. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Well, at least I haven't put it that way. 3-0 our score. We'll take a break and come back for the kickoff after this. This is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage, 810varsity.com.
Well, I hate to sound like a sitting cliche over here, but kind of a moral victory there for the Titans in terms of stepping it up on the goal line type stance. I mean, they never got inside the 5, but like you said, after the timeout, the defense stiffened up and only allowed the field goal.
I think if you ask the defensive coaches midway through the first half, if they were within 3 points, I think they'd take it.
Or even just saying, well, what if you've only allowed 3 points?
That's two.
Ozick has the ball teed up on the left hash mark at the 40-yard line. 8:50 to go here in the first half. Titans on their first offensive possession did march down the field and missed a 28-yard field goal, or this would be a tie game. The kick is high and deep and into the end zone for a touchback. So we'll get to see the Titans offense for the second time. This time from their own 20. They had pretty good field position the first time as they were up near midfield, still on their own side of the midfield stripe, but this time they've got 80 yards in front of them, which, again, for this Titan offense, the not exactly 3 yards in a cloud of dust or anything like that. First of all, they don't have dust on turf fields. but they're hoping to get good chunks of yards, but it's still, you really hope that you have shorter fields to work with.
Right. Always want the shorter field when you get a chance, but I'll tell you what, these dadgum kickers in high school now, they've got legs on them, my friend.
I know. You have to push back that from 40 to 35 maybe. Wolverton on the sweep, tosses it, trying to cut up inside, gets out to the 25-yard line on the carry, and that was...
Is that Jackson Torrey?
Yeah, Jackson Torrey. He'll get just a hair over 5 yards. It'll be second and a short 4 from there. Clock running with 8:23 left to go here in the first half. Wolverton, and again, with a man in motion, gives to Mayo, bounces off one tackle, is able to fall forward to get an extra couple yards up to the 28. It'll be 3rd down and 2, and we've got an injured Titan player as one of the offensive linemen.
It's going to be one of our guards, isn't it?
Yeah, I do believe so. It's going to be Quentin Davis, sophomore. And I'm not sure what he hurt. It's something on the lower part of his body, I would think.
Well, not to speculate what the injury is, but that's always
the way he's behaving, it looks to me like it might just be, shall we say,
ouch,
uncomfortable male problems.
I don't mean to laugh at the young man being hurt, but
yeah,
yeah,
we've all been through it.
Yeah,
It doesn't just happen in football either.
The fear with the lineman inside is somebody rolling up on the back of your legs.
Yeah.
But he was just in the scrum there, and I think he
Yeah,
got caught by a flying foot in it while somebody was making a tackle.
Yeah. It is amazing how things do manage to find a way around whatever it is you happen to be wearing at the time, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
And it looks like they're going to help him up. Let's see if, well, the way he's behaving, it may actually be an ankle problem because he's not putting a whole lot of weight on at least one of his feet. So maybe it is actually, maybe he rolled an ankle, or like you said, somebody rolled up on him. You know, usually when that happens, they're usually grabbing for it, but he didn't do that.
Well, if it's the first time you've had that happen to you, it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't know how to react to it. Now, get over there on the sideline with the head trainer, Susie Humphreys. Let her check you out and then get you taped up and get back in the game, boys.
He's able to walk it to the bench on his own power.
Yep. Dr. Freevert's over there checking him out.
Yep. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 after the injury. They set up with Trips on the right side, Mayo in the backfield. Wilverton from the shotgun and is back to throw. Throws it on toward Torrey, and he'll get a first down across the 30 to about the 33. Able to hop over a tackle there on the coverage from Moberly, and that'll move the chains 1st and 10 Titans. A pretty good pass that time for Wolverton. Looked like a quarterback, didn't he?
He did. You know, the best part about that catch by Torrey was that he got the ball and went straight upfield and got positive yards. He wasn't out there dancing. He was trying to do what he could do with the ball and get upfield.
Wanted to get that first down. Other Torrey, and he's hitting the backfield and taken down for a loss. As Jackson Torrey the last time, but this time it's Quincy. And that actually, I mean, you don't like to throw blame around or anything like that, but that was a blocking failure by David Mayo.
Yep, missed it.
They threw what it was he didn't continue to engage it.
Right.
I don't know if he thought that that Quincy was going to be by him by then or not, but he just sort of let him go, and unfortunately it was the wrong time to do it. Back to throw Wolverton. He throws near side. It's caught. Oh, breaks the tackle. Torrey. And Quincy this time out to the 38, 39-yard line. He'll make up the yards they were lost and a few more out across the 35. 38 is where they're going to put the ball down and set up a 3rd down, much more makeable at about 3rd and 5. It'll be 3rd and a short 5.
Are we going to call that a handoff? Or are we going to call that a swing pass?
That was a pass. Yeah, it was forward. So 3rd down, Twins on either side. Now Torrey moves in motion from the left to the right. Back to throw Wolverton. He'll throw that way, incomplete. He was not in the same communication with Miller. And Derek, he saw something that he thought he was going to be able to just run right by because he saw the press-type coverage. And maybe he could have, but the ball wasn't there.
That's right.
So it'll set up a punting situation. David Mayo is our punter in addition to our running back. And he'll stand back at about his own 24. First punt of the season for the Titans on their 2nd offensive possession, trailing 3-0. Just under 7 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. And we get a delay of game called. And that was not an intentional delay of game and unless I don't know something about David Mayo's punting ability, they were not setting him up for the coffin corner.
No, they were not.
It'll be 4th and 10 after the penalty, and he'll move back inside the 20 to about the 19. Although, usually in these first games of the year, if you're going to have these kinds of penalties, a lot of times they happen on special teams. High snap. Mayo gets it down. He gets the kickoff. And it's a fair catch called for and made at the 44-yard line by Wenson for the Blue Jays. I tell you what, it's if Mayo doesn't learn how to rush the kicks a little more than that, we may see some blocks this year.
That, Yeah, and we were watching the defender. He actually looped around the second wall or the gate there and almost got into Mayo's face to block it.
I mean, what he did was fine if it was a normal snap that went right to him and so on. But the fact that it was a high snap, he had to jump, caught it, and then by the time he got into it, I mean, it worked out, but I think he got a little bit lucky on the play. It's a give to Wenson, trying the right side. And again, the Titans do a good job of stacking that side of the playing field. Managed to get back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. As Anthony Wenson has had several carries, but not a whole lot of yards so far. They've done a good job on him at least.
The key is how the young Titans and the guys that are filling in those spots on the D-line, how they can hold up in the 3rd and 4th quarter with this heat. That's the big thing right now.
Twins on the left side, back to throw and throwing, and it is caught. Good for a first down to Revels. As Kokta had plenty of time. I don't think he's been rushed yet on a pass. It'll move the chains into Titan territory, 1st and 10 from the Lee Summit West 45.
That was a nice route by Revels, breaking in and just finding the seam there, the little opening spot, just camped out till he got the ball.
1st and 10 shotgun, Twins on the right, 1 on the left. H-back on the right, bit of a slow snap. Kokta looked like he was going to set up the screen. Taking forever, throws, and it's incomplete. He was really creamed on the play. That was reminiscent of Hammond, wasn't it?
Yes.
As Jax Fosnow, came in and really popped him. That could have also been an intentional grounding, potentially. I didn't really see a white jersey over in that general area. He was clearly getting rid of the ball.
He threw it into the crowd, that's for sure.
There's a lot more blue jerseys over in that area, and like I said, we're going to get a timeout, it looks like, perhaps from the Blue Jays. Stopping the clock with 5:41 left to go in the first half. Maybe the coaching staff wanted to give Christian Kokta a little primer on maybe what to do. I don't know if that was originally supposed to be a screenplay and he just didn't like what he saw, so he didn't throw it, and then wasn't sure what he was supposed to do after that.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what it was. He got out in no man's land, and he went, "Oh, I don't want to run out of bounds and lose 20 yards," So.
But he wasn't sure where to throw it.
That's right.
I'll give him credit that
he got it to the line of scrimmage. That was the key.
There was that, and there was also, a lot of times guys in that situation will think that they can throw it across the field, which is a great recipe for a pick six.
Unless you are number 15 in red for the Chiefs, right?
Well.
I'm telling you what, every time he makes one of those throws from the left sideline back to the middle of the field, I just cringe because I know there's kids in junior high, elementary school, high school practicing that throw.
Oh, yeah. Don't do as he does.
That's right.
2nd and 10 after the timeout. They come out with Twins on the right side. It is a give to Wenson up the middle. And this time he gets a little bit of a hole. Able to pick up 3. But it'll still set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and about 7 from the Titan 42. They need the Titan 35. As you know, of course, in my rest of the week life, I work in Lawrence, Kansas, and I was listening on my way home to their Rock Chalk Sports Talk show, and they were talking about KU football.
They play football still?
Well, they play something. 3rd down and 7. Bunch formation on the left. Back to throw. Kokta throws, and it's caught, but from his knees, so short of a first down on the catch by Hale. But it'll set up a 4th and short. I would imagine they'll go for it, really 4th and less than a yard. So they were doing these hypotheticals. Of course, they don't play until next week. They don't play in the high school level until next week either in Kansas. And they were saying if it was the end of the season and the Jayhawks were 5-6 playing the Wildcats from K-State, and it was they're down by 4 and the ball's on the 7-yard line, who would you go to? Oh, we got our first offsides on the Titans as Fosnow that time jumped a little early and handed a first down to the Blue Jays. We were hoping maybe he was drawn, but that didn't happen.
Did not happen.
So 1st and 10 from the 31 will be coming up after they march off the penalty. Anyway, so that the question was, who would you give it to? Now, I was in my car, although I do have access to the broadcasters. I would, of course, never text while driving. But my thought in my head was, who would I throw it to? Travis Kelce, because that's the only way that the Kansas Jayhawks are going to be 5-6 at that point in the season, is if they can get him to play for them. Back to throw. Kokta with time. Now he runs out of time, and he gets to the line of scrimmage, and he's tackled. A pair of Titans stepped up, as looked like Ryan Haynes along with Logan Putman. I don't know, that technically no gain, so it really won't go down as a sack.
I called it a sack.
Okay, 2nd and 10.
I counted him as losing a half a yard.
For the record, Kelce doesn't have any
eligibility left.
No.
It's a 2nd and 10, Blue Jays.
Trips on the right side in this formation. And they're going to set up that wide receiver screen, and Revels, and he caught it on a bounce, so incomplete. And it'll be 3rd and 10. I tell you what, if they would have made that work, that could have been an effective play, because it looked to me like they had 3 receivers and 1 defensive back. 2 guys blocking 1 is not a good formula for success on defense.
They had opportunities for those folks to run, for sure. There was a lot of green turf there.
Somebody upstairs from here is probably getting some information down to the sideline about setting people up on that play. 3rd down and 10, Twins on either side. Cooked back to throw. They're blitzing him. He'll escape, throw, near side, caught, but not anywhere near a first down. Hit immediately. On the catch was Bindell. Ace Bindell on the catch, but it'll only get down to the 29-yard line and set up a 4th down and about 8 from there. I don't know what kind of kicker they have, but it would be a 46-yard kick, or 46-yard. And that's what it looks like they're going to give a try at here. He's already made one if they don't fake it. Ozick there. Ozick. Snap back, they put it down, the kick is up. It is high, plenty of leg, and it is good.
Wow.
46 yards. Thought we had a good kicker. So do they, apparently. 3:06 to go. Here in the first half of play, the Blue Jays extend their lead. It is 6-0. But, of course, the Titans within a touchdown. They'll get the ball back when we come back. This is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com. Back live here at Titan Stadium, Joel Becker and Mark Files, Lee Summit West and Liberty. Blue Jays on top of the Titans 6-0. A pair of field goals by Eli Ozick, who will tee the ball up at the 40-yard line. That last one, first one was just, 22 yards, bit of a chip shot. But that one, not much wind here, which is nice. Ball hopefully flies the way you want it to. The Titans have already missed the field goal. And that's the scoring in the game so far. Still a good defensive stand again by the Titans to keep them out of the end zone. Ozick. We'll see if he can't get it into the end zone again. 3:06 to go in the half. Kicks it high, and this time it will go about 4 yards deep for another touchback.
Well, I think what we're going to see this year as we go through the schedule, you're going to see a lot of teams that are clumped together, and then you're going to see 2, maybe 3 teams that are 2 steps above everybody. I think you can put definitely Liberty North in that. I think you can put Lee Summit North in that mix. And I think Rockhurst, maybe Ray Peck, one of those 2 will be there.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're playing tonight. Rockhurst and Ray Peck, we'll figure out who's got the leg up.
Titans first and 10 from the 20-yard line, third offensive drive. They missed a field goal on the first and then had to punt on the second. Mayo off tackle on the right side, gets back to the line of scrimmage and is pushed back to the 15. No gain on the play, second down and 10.
You know, there's people probably sitting home watching this going, why do you keep running that play? Well, you got to run that play so that the sweeps around the end or the outside are open, and then also it builds for the play calls in the second half.
Twins on either side, Mayo to the right of Wolverton. From the shotgun, back to throw. He will throw far side, it is caught. And a nice job breaking out of one tackle, getting across the 25 to about the 26 or 27-yard line is Damon Randolph.
Number 7, Damon Randolph.
And he'll set up a third down and short.
3rd and 3 Titans.
Another nice job of catching the ball and getting upfield.
Second time we've said that about him in particular. H-back on the left, man in motion. To that left side, back to throw Wolverton. He will throw downfield and incomplete. He was looking again for Miller. Once again, it looked like Derek was hoping he would be able to go on some sort of a fly pattern. Wolverton didn't have the arm to get it to him, but it ended up being one of those sort of back shoulder type throws, but unfortunately Miller had just too much momentum to stop and come back because he could have made the catch. The defender was way too focused on him, but he was just too far ahead of it. The throw, it was underthrown.
That's a long throw across the field.
Yep. 4th down and 3 punting situation. Mayo standing back at his 13-yard line. We'll see what kind of snap he gets and whether they come after him. It's a pretty good snap. He'll step into this one, and it'll come down Wenson at the 39-yard line. He's going to run this one, trying to go left side. Hit and tackled as he gets to the 42. A return of about 2-3 yards, and pretty good field position for the Blue Jays. Leading 6-0 with 1:45 left to go in the half.
Liberty's definitely winning the field position game here in the first half, aren't they?
After that first set, yes. And, well, the key to it was the Titans missing the field goal.
Right.
And then the Blue Jays were able to drive down and get their field goal. And then they've kept the Titans behind ever since. We'll see what they want to do here with 1:45 left to go. 2 timeouts, wide receiver screen, and they're going to call that incomplete in the first place. Once again, trying it to Revels. And this pitcher, Cookta, just doesn't really have the arm to make that pass. A lot of people, again, just don't understand when you watch this on TV, especially if you're watching, say, a Chiefs game or even a college game, and you see those quarterbacks making that toss, you think of it as being a short toss because it's still behind the line of scrimmage. But in reality, he's throwing that ball maybe 25 yards.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got to get there in a hurry. Long pass down the field, incomplete, overthrowing everybody as he tried for Amarazi, but he was about 20 yards too far down. But again, so, you know, obviously Cookta does have an arm. He was able to let that one go for about, 40 yards or so and overthrew everybody. But it's a different kind of throw. You got that one. You got to throw a bullet when you're trying to throw, to an out pass like that, because the receiver needs to get it in his hands really quickly. Otherwise, the defensive team has way too much time to get up to him.
Yeah, and you know what? I was really glad to see them call that as an incomplete pass on that first down play, because I thought the receiver may have tweaked an ankle or a knee and went down in a heap. So.
Trips on the left side, 3rd down and 10. Throwing, and it is caught. Revels, and he's going to get a first down. Needed to get to the Titan 48, got to the 46, maybe 45. They didn't like something. The Titan defensive back crew seemed to be a little confused about who they needed to cover. They sent 3 guys out, and we've seen it a couple times when there have been an overflood of a zone, the Titan defense not really being quite sure what their assignments are. Give to Wenson. Off left tackle. This time he had some running room, got up to the 40. Pick up of 5, second down and 5 from there. Now the clock is running and we're down to a minute left to go.
Well, that's the problem with playing the zone there. Everybody gets caught in garden space and not looking for the man working into their zone.
Low snap, give to Wenson. He's hitting the backfield, and they finish him off. Good play that time by the Titans and Logan Putman, the junior defensive lineman, as we're going to get the second timeout called by the Blue Jays with 40 seconds left to go. But Putman, had made the hit, but he wasn't going to take him down, but he wouldn't let go of his jersey. And so he was able to hold Wenson there long enough for a trio of other Titans to come over and finish him off. But
that is team football there, my friend.
It is what it is.
Know what your role is. Just hang on.
That's what you got to do. So it'll be third down and 5 after the timeout, 39.9 seconds showing on the clock.
Mr. Ben, our student intern, see if you can get a picture of that nice scoreboard there while we got a little timeout going on. Got to say thanks to the taxpayers there. That's something nice. All 3 high schools got one of those. This was part of the upgrades of the facilities that they do every 10 years.
All 3 high schools have Titan logos on there.
They do this week.
It's amazing.
The other 2 are out of town, so yeah, we got Titan logos on there.
All right, third down and 5. Back to throw Cookta. He's getting a rush. Throws on the near side. It's caught. Step up and
Great
good play by Torrey on Wenson. He will lose a couple yards on the play, and this time it's going to be a timeout again from the Blue Jays. That's interesting. With 30 seconds left to go, they decided to burn their last timeout, and it would seem they're going to go for it here on fourth down. I don't know why you wouldn't. Why you would call timeout otherwise.
Go for it and see if you can get that kicker in range to take a shot on a first or second down.
Yeah,
why not try it?
Well, they're 12 yards away from where they were last time.
Exactly.
But the thing is, though, is with 30 seconds left and the Titans have 2 timeouts, if they don't make it, the Titans have the ball at the 42-yard line and the possibility of, moving the ball down. But they don't seem to be too concerned about that.
And have we seen anything out of the Titans that shows that they've got that big explosive play? Not yet, anyway.
Not so far,
Check this out.
Looks like they're going to go for the kick right now. This would be a 59-yard field goal.
Watch for the fake, gentlemen.
Obviously. On 4th and 7, they put it down. They kick it.
That's returnable, right?
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be caught. Actually, not from the end zone. It would be returnable, but in the end zone, it's a touchback.
Tell you what, he kicked that a long way.
Yeah, he was about 5 yards shy, but that's a 59-yard try. So that means he had the leg to kick it from, let's say, 54 yards.
I'm telling you,
that's NFL level.
I know it. That was a good effort.
Not as good as a chief safety, but
that was something else, wasn't it?
65 yards or something like that for a safety to just pop in
and
there.
Reed did that. Reed was doing that.
24.4 seconds left to go.
Okay, here's what I don't like about high school football.
The only thing about that play, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, is why wouldn't you let the clock run down before you call that timeout?
Well, that's true.
Because now the other one, Anyway, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, here's what I don't like about high school football. Where'd they kick that ball from? And look where they get the ball to start, the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they don't get it where it was.
Yep.
Incomplete passes again. Wolverton off, not in the same page as his receivers. That was intended for Weigel.
Number 17, Lance Weigel. Makes it 2nd and 10 for the Titans.
Or Weigel.
First world problems, me complaining about starting the ball after a missed kick on the 20-yard line.
But like you said, that's high school. And of course, in the pros, you would get it from where he kicked it from. They go to Torrey on the end around. Toss sweep, really. And he will lose some yardage to the 18. But going back again to the idea, if you were going to kick that field goal, and maybe they hadn't decided it, maybe he talked him into it from the, from the bench or something like that. But assuming that that's what they were going to do, you would have thought that the thing to do is let the clock run down to like 5 seconds left or 3 seconds left and then call the timeout and kick it. They'll give it to Mayo on the third down play.
And maybe they were setting up a fake field goal and didn't see the formation on the defensive side of the ball they were looking for.
Yeah, that's a possibility as well. So that'll be the last play of the half. It's been a while since the Titans hadn't scored in the first half of a game. It has happened, but it's been years. But that is the case here. The Lee Summit West Titans go to the locker room trailing 6-0. The good news is they are one score away from being ahead in this game. A couple of field goals by Eli Ozick for the Blue Jays. A missed field goal he has as well as a Titan missed field goal. And 6-0 our score. We'll take a break. Halftime is coming up here from Titan Stadium on Titan Football. A presentation of Back Porch Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
We're at halftime here from Titan Stadium, and we're going to give the folks over at 810varsity.com watching in a chance to watch the West Side girls perform. The problem is if we let you hear it, then YouTube will probably ban the video. So I'm going to take the sound down, but at least for those of you who are watching, you're going to get a chance to see the girls perform. Okay, copyrighted music is over. We are back. Apologize to those tuning in on lswradio.com. There's not much we can do about that. It's just the way it is. I mean, we've allowed the band to play, and every once in a while, the little YouTube bots at 810 Varsity, using YouTube as their platform, will hear whatever it is that their AI stuff tells them is copyrighted music.
Yeah, it was Beatles music.
Well, that was the last time it happened. Yeah.
Dadgum Beatles. Insects.
So, when they come out, we'll try and get you some band audio here. But while we have a minute, do you got some numbers?
We do. We have some halftime numbers here for you. As you know, this was not a big scoring opportunity. The score right now is 6-0 halftime. Liberty's leading. Offensively, Liberty has 124 yards on offense. The Titans have 69. Liberty's run 36 plays. The Titans have run 22. Yards per play. Liberty has 3.4 yards per play. West is at 3.1. So it's relatively close. The passing game is where the separation is. The Blue Jays have thrown the ball 18 times, had 11 completions. They're averaging about 8.5 yards a play. They've got 94 yards total. Rushing attempts, 18 attempts on the ground. They're averaging 1.7 yards per carry. And the leading rusher for Liberty is going to be Anthony Winson. He's got 14 attempts for 42 yards. Then Dominic Revels has 2 carries for -12. Now, for the Titans.
Why don't we get to the Titans after we hear the band?
Sure, let's do it.
So let's walk on sunshine for a little while with the Lee Summit West band.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of them is the 2020 LSR7 Teacher of the Year. One of them has a birthday today. They both, along with our very own band director, Brandon Johnson, comprise half of the cover band, The Local. Let's give a huge Titan welcome to Matt and Kim Kedemed. Now, everybody on your feet to enjoy the vocal amazingness of this local popular duo as they join the Titan Pride to dazzle us with the 2015 Bruno Mars hit, Uptown Funk. Oh.
Let's get our hands together. Come on, Lee Summit West, first home game. Let's have a good time. Woo! This hit that ice cold, Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them good girls, them Titan girls, straight masterpiece. Silent, wildin', living it up in the city. We got Chuck song, we sing along. Gotta kiss myself, so pretty. Too hot, yeah. A policeman, fireman, too hot.
for the Titan Pride Marching Band.
Alrighty, back live here at Titan Stadium. That was something. You had some Titan numbers for us.
Titan numbers. To refresh everybody's memory, they have 69 yards here in the first half. They have 33 yards through the air, 5 of 9 for an average of 6.6 yards per pass. The rushing attempts, 13. They're averaging 2.8 yards per carry. They've got 36 yards on the ground. Now the leaders for the Titans, you've got Quincy Torrey with 5 attempts for 15 yards. You got David Mayo coming in with 6 attempts for 14 yards. And then Jackson Torrey has 2 attempts for 7 yards. On the receiving side, Damon Randolph has 2 catches for 14 yards. Quincy Torrey's got 1 for 8. Lance Weagle's got 1 for 6. Torrey Jackson's got 1 for 5. And that is your halftime stats.
Got some scores for you this first week of Missouri football here in the 2022 campaign. Here's I don't know if this is really a surprise or not, but Staley 6-0 on top of Blue Springs. That's a first quarter score.
New coach at Blue Springs. Yeah. They're a little down still.
Center 21-0 over St. Joe Lafayette. Park Hill South and Columbia Rockbridge, they got themselves a battle going on. 13-10 for Park Hill South. Are they 6 now? I thought they moved up.
I believe they are.
Yeah. And let's see, Belton, Excelsior Springs, Belton on top 14-0. Gallatin, North Platte, 32-8 Gallatin. Grain Valley and Fort O, 7-all in that one.
That one's a little surprising.
7-0 Kearney. That's that Fort O score is with just less than 2 minutes to go in the half. Halftime at Platte County and Kearney. Platte County 7-0. Boy, that's an early clash of the Titans there.
You bet.
On the north side. Blue Springs South all over the Tigers from Lee Summit High, 24-0.
Say that again?
24-0 Blue Springs South over Lee Summit.
That is a shock.
With 32 seconds to go in the second quarter. Not really a shock, but I was thinking this might be a little closer. 14-0 Liberty North over Lee Summit North. So the Eagles
have landed?
Well, on top of the Broncos anyway.
That's right.
Lathrop 21-0 over Lexington. Let's see, 40-0 Lincoln over Lone Jack. 13-0 Lincoln College Prep over Cameron. 29-0 Chillicothe over Marshall. And stop the presses out of Boonville. I have a score here somewhere. Oh yeah, 27-7 Pleasant Hill. Not good news for the Boehm family.
Well, you know, the Pleasant Hill Roosters, they're a pretty good little program.
Guess so. I do have a Rockhurst score, by the way. Let me see if I can find it again. It was close. Oh, yeah, it's 12-11. Rockhurst on top of Ray-Pec with about half of the second quarter still left to go. St. Joe Central on top of Ruskin, 28-14. That's in the second quarter as well. Let's see, looking for anything that's also kind of Grandview. William Chrisman, 7-0 Grandview. Remember when this team first started and that would have been a real important score for us?
Yes, it would have. Isn't that just crazy?
Yeah.
How this team's just grown.
Yeah.
Over the years.
The amazing thing is I think there's probably about the same number of kids on the roster that there was when we were in Class 4 school.
Not quite as many, but it's pretty darn close.
I don't know. I think there might have been more. So, Oak Park, 41-0 over Winnetonka.
Okay, now let's remember those early years they were dressing freshmen just to make the sideline look better. That was all about that intimidation. You know?
I just remember, I mean, obviously I've been doing this for a long time, and the Titan roster has always been the only one that I ever get that has 3 columns in it.
Yeah.
When you look at the Liberty roster, there's 2. Most schools have the 2.
Right.
We had a few when we would go to somewhere down near Ozark or something like that, where it would just be 1 column.
Right.
So at any rate, all right, teams are back on the field, warming things up. We are at halftime here at Titan Stadium, 6-0 the score, with the Liberty Blue Jays on top of your Lee Summit West Titans. The Titans get the ball to start things off in the second quarter, and we'll have that for you when we come back. It is Lee Summit West and Liberty, 6-0 Blue Jays here on Titan Football. A presentation of Ackport Sports, Spec Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
A10 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage, 810varsity.com. It started when a friend asked an ex-cop a simple question.
Got a gun?
Unfortunately, almost nothing is as simple as it may seem. Soon, David Allen Crockett found himself in a world he thought he'd left behind. A world of murder, deceit, treachery, and the possibility of the finest love he would ever know. All he had to do was survive. Don't miss Call Me Crockett, the new novel from David Lewis. Available from Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and select Borders bookstores. Oh, shoot.
What's the matter, Pop?
Your mother's off at Taekwondo practice, and she says she wants me to find a hobby by this summer.
Well, why not play baseball, Dad?
Softball? I don't want to play softball.
Not softball, Dad. Baseball.
I don't even like softball,
Dad,
son, the way they
Dad,
just toss
not
the ball
softball,
in there.
Dad.
You know, I used to be a catcher.
Dad.
In softball, I just feel like a backstop.
Dad.
What?
I'm not talking about softball. I'm talking about baseball, Dad. You know, hardball.
Really? They have baseball for people my age?
Sure, Pop. The Kansas City Men's Senior Baseball League.
Well, now, I'm no spring chicken anymore, son. I don't want to play with all you young teenagers, you know.
I'm 35, Pop.
You are?
They have leagues for people both our ages. They have 18 and over, 28 and over, even 38 and over leagues.
Wonder if I still have my old mitt.
The Kansas City Men's Senior Baseball League, 913-649-2942.
I think your mother used it while training those tigers.
Call them. They'll get you all signed up. 913-649-2942.
649-2942. Good. As soon as your mother gets home from bungee jumping, I'll tell her.
Oh, great, Pop. She'll be so happy.
Oh.
What?
Well, when she gets happy, she might take it out on me.
Oh, Dad.
Are you looking for a heartwarming and unique gift? Consider master storyteller David Lewis's Memories CD collection. Warm memories of the cold. 9 of David's best memories of sleds, snow, grandpa on ice, 34 degrees below, skates, and Christmas. Hooves, paws, wings, and claws. 13 recollections of cats, horses, dogs, birds, a misguided vet, and a bobcat that stuck to the wall. Just folks. 13 memories of the witch in the woods and other captivating people, gone but not forgotten. And you had to be there. 14 heartwarming tales like Fantasy on the Porch, An Ox Out of His Box, A Foot Fetish Catfish, and more. Recollecting times, places, people, and events in David's life you simply have to hear for yourself. David's CDs are available online at memoriescds.com. You can hear audio clips at the website. That's memoriescds.com. Why not buy the gift that can be enjoyed over and over? David Lewis's Memories CD collection. A touch of the heartland for your family.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files. Lee Summit West and Liberty. Titans trailing the Blue Jays 6-0. And, you know, we've got first-year Titan head coach Willie Horn on the sideline. And what do you imagine was going on at a halftime? You know, this is the first time we're going to get a chance to see how he makes adjustments for the second half.
Well, knowing this coaching staff, they were talking as they were going to the locker room. They already had an idea what they wanted to do. They presented those ideas to Coach Horn. They powwowed. Coach Horn was the guy who says, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I guarantee these assistant coaches propped him up as it was all his idea to keep the kids' faith in the head coach and go from there. Once they decided what they were going to do, then they broke into the position groups, got the rest of the game plan for the second half, and they bring it back out. All right, so it was as the time runs down.
Yep.
If you're listening at Porch Sports, do you put ketchup on a hot dog? Yes or no? Our intern is eating ketchup on a hot dog. What are you doing, my brother?
There's nothing wrong with eating ketchup on a hot dog.
Oh, man.
I don't.
Man. These new kids, this new generation, what are we going to do with them?
I mean, they don't have any barbecue sauce here.
Oh, that's true. Or ranch, right? It's ranch. Ranch is the new condiment that everybody loves.
So do you want me to toss up a softball for you?
Yes.
What are your impressions of the first half? You're supposed to say, I don't do impressions, Joel.
I don't do impressions, Joel.
Takes me back. All right, Titans get the football to start things off here in the second half. We'll see what kind of adjustments they get. Ozick, who has already kicked a 45-yard field goal today, as well as a 22-yarder or so. Ball teed up on the left hash mark, and he lays into this one, and it will also go into the end zone, about 7 yards deep for a touchback. The only time the Titans really threatened to score in this game was on their first offensive possession when they got the ball at about, it was past the 40, like 42-yard line or so.
Right.
Trying to go from the 20, which is what they've done in the last three possessions since then, they have not been able to really get much done.
Well, I like what they're doing. I like the methodical approach to it, and they're using and they're playing to their kids' skill level and set and what their abilities are. I mean, they're not trying to throw the ball all over the place and creating turnovers and getting themselves in a hole.
Man in motion, toss that direction. And on the end around, gaining out to about the 21 or so, not much of a gain on the play, was Tavion, his first carry. And it'll be pickup of 1, second down and 9. Just underway second half. Titans trailing 6-0. Again, the good news is out of everything that's happened so far, only 69 yards in the first half, but they are literally one score away from taking the lead in this game. And on the second, forward momentum is stopped, and then they drag him all the way back to the 15-yard line once again. That was Sims on the carry. Might have been able to get about 2 up toward the 23. It'll set up a third down and long, 3rd and 7 from there. Now, the good news also is you said he was like 5 for 9 in that first half. Wolverton has looked like a more capable passer than we were kind of led to believe going into this game. Twins on either side. We'll see if they come after him. Back to throw. They throw near side. It was bobbled and caught, but unfortunately, Torrey, when he had to make adjustments to make the catch, took him off balance, and he fell down at the 25, and it'll be a 3-and-out, it looks like, for the Titans.
Well, Drew's a smart kid, okay, and he's not going to make those silly, as we call them, bonehead mistakes. He's going to do his best to eliminate those, and he sees the field very well, and being a coach's kid, he's been watching film a long time.
Mayo out to punt for the third time, standing at his own 11. On the 3-and-out, it's a good snap, and he steps into it. Line drive kick. Pushes Wenson back to, again, about his own 40. He made a fair catch at his own 40-yard line. Not sure exactly why. That was probably a returnable ball.
Yeah, I was like, man, he's going to run with that one.
But apparently, I'm guessing he was under orders not to. It'll be good field position for the Blue Jays for their first possession of the second half. Like you said, they've been really ever since just after the Titans missed their field goal, the Blue Jays have been playing field position and doing it well. So Kokta comes out with Twins on either side. Wenson to his right in the shotgun formation. They will give it to Wenson. Side steps up the middle, gains about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 as he's swarmed in. And again, that's the one thing that you can definitely say about, because this is the first game of the year. We haven't never got to see him at a jamboree. We don't really know what kind of a character, what sort of a team this is going to be. They're definitely a swarming team on defense, aren't they?
They are, and that's a good character trait. That means you got all 11 guys on the same page, and they're doing their jobs and helping each other make those tackles.
Man in motion, Rebels. They fake to him, back to throw. Kokta throws. He's got a man downfield. It's incomplete. Threw into double coverage as he was looking on the play for Carbajal, Jack. And another tall receiver. They've got a lot of, I don't know what kind of corn they're feeding them up in Liberty. But they seem to grow tall out there, don't they?
They do.
But it was a bit overthrown, and like I said, it was decent coverage. There were 2 Titans right around. So it'll be 2nd down, it should be 3rd down and 8. No, we got a penalty. We may have had a illegal man downfield penalty. Let's see if we get it. Yeah, that is in fact
an eligible man downfield.
Yeah, and they took the penalty. So it'll stay 2nd down, but it'll make it a 2nd and 13. That's one of those tough ones. You're really not sure, because you have an incomplete and you can set up a 3rd and 8. Or you can give them another shot at it, but it's 2nd and 13. And you're also pushing them a little further back in their own territory. So the ball on the 38-yard line, they did choose to take the penalty. From the shotgun, Kokta back to throw. He'll spin out to the left side, looking, throwing. He's got a man near side. It's caught, running out of bounds, short of a 1st down. Amarazi makes the catch. He has been their workhorse. Lost a yard, though, after the catch. And it'll set up a 3rd down and 4. Well, really 3. So as it turned out, the decision ends up backfiring. Instead of a 3rd and 8, it's a 3rd and 3. Although they've had good success on the short 3rd downs, at least they did early in the game. They're going to give it to Wenson up the middle, and again, they do hit him. But he's able to push his way forward and get himself a 1st down. That is like the 3rd time we have seen him do that.
That's excellent. That's great second effort there for sure.
Yeah. They're going to actually, no, they're not going to measure. It's 1st down. Got out to midfield, so ball right at just across into Titan territory. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. 9:37 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Liberty on top 6-0. Blue Jays come out with that triple formation again on the right side. We'll see if the Titans play it better, but instead it's a handoff up the middle, and pretty good running room that time for Wenson. He'll get up to the 42. It'll be 2nd and 2 from there.
Yep, I like that formation to run out of because it definitely spreads things out and creates a few extra holes in lanes, especially on the wide side of the field.
Well, like I said, the first time they did it, the Titans didn't seem to know how to cover it, and they had the front of the middle of the field covered very well, but then they lucked out as it turned out. But that time, as you mentioned, they put more people out there. Quarterback draw this time. And Kokta will get near a 1st down, but it looks like he should be shy. It'll be 3rd and about, 12 inches or so.
Length of the football?
Yeah. It says 2 feet on the thing. They are literally, it's not, because technically all they really have to do is get across the yard marker of the ball. The nose of the ball is right on the yard marker. So yard markers are not 2 feet wide. And there's an official timeout on the field for something.
Got to admit, this has been a pretty nice night for football. We've had some hellacious hot nights.
For this early in the year, yeah, it's not bad. Not sure what that delay was all about.
I think we had a player that
equipment issue.
Yeah, equipment issue.
Third down and short. Will they give it to Wenson? And we get whistles. They're allowing the play to go, but now they do blow it dead. I don't know if there was a timeout called or if there was a false start.
Whistle.
It was definitely a whistle, though.
Yeah.
I don't see any laundry on the field.
It's a do-over.
Yeah.
I wanted to reset the play clock.
Okay.
The white hat goes, my bad, hits himself in the chest.
Clock running with 8:08 left to go in the third quarter. Third down and less than a yard.
You ever done that, officiate and have the whistle in your mouth and cough and then blow the whistle?
No. On 3rd and 2, they do give it to Wenson, and he is stopped shy of the first down. They may try it again. By the way, we did see the other quarterback, Mortimer, come in to give that handoff. I don't know if Cookta, maybe that was the deal with the official timeout. Maybe he was the one who had the equipment issue.
Yeah.
Because
he's standing over on the sidelines ready to come back in.
And they had to take him out for a play, apparently. Or maybe they thought he was shaken up and made him come out for a play. I don't know. Either way, Mortimer gave that handoff. They're going to go for it here. Lost about 2. So 4th and a short 2, and they're going to go for it. They need to adjust inside the 40. Play action throw, and it's caught by Amarazi, and he steps out of bounds at the 38 after a gain of 4. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. Well,
that young man is a man-child out there, I'm telling you.
Well,
he is just a big target and is strong as a bull. Great player.
Right. And that's going to be a very difficult pass for the Titans to be able to block or stop. Twins out wide on the right side. They give it up the middle, and a pretty good run that time for Wenson near the first down. On a 1st and 10 play, he gains. And there's a Titan player down again. This time, it looks like a knee or something.
Cramp maybe on that calf.
It could be. I think that's Huffman. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Who is slow in getting up. Well, it is about time for the water break anyway. 7:02 left to go. They're going to mark him just shy of a first down, so it'll be 2nd and less than a yard with the ball on the Titan 28-yard line, or just shy of the 28. Halfway or so through this third quarter. Titans trailing 6-0. Still waiting for their first points of 2022. Wonder what the either record or previous record was for the longest time period into a season before the Titans scored any points. I don't know what they did their first year. Because, of course, they lost their first 7 games, as you know.
Right. I'd have to go back and look at the records on it and see exactly what it was. They struggled scoring points early, and then they found the mojo there right about when the district game started, and then it was look out, here they come. I loved Coach Horn's comments about sitting at home as a high school kid saying, what in the heck's going on over there at West?
2nd and short. Rebels in motion. They blitz, and it is a sack. Kokta taken down back at his own 35 or so. We'll see what kind of forward progress they give him. They've blown the play dead. I'm not sure why the clock is stopped.
Got another player down back in the cramps.
Another Titan player. Looks like we have a few of them that seem to be.
They're all shaking those legs out, aren't they?
One is down, but the other one was just sort of shaking his leg out.
They're all stretching.
So in the meantime, that was a great sack by the Titan. Just the whole defensive line came up. Great penetration, about 3 of them in there. And the key to it was, when you have stuff like that happen, sometimes you get that great penetration. Sometimes the quarterbacks will see it, sidestep it, or find a hole. But because of the way they did it, there was nowhere for him to go.
They had both sides in the middle covered, didn't they?
So can't tell who is down. Hopefully it's just like we talked about, a cramp. despite the fact that they did just give them a little bit of, they took their water break.
Yeah. And you know what, Joel? You can preach to these players all day long. Drink fluids, drink the right fluids, get plenty of water in your system, get that sugar-free, not the energy drink, but the electrolyte drinks, and get those in your system. And until you come out and experience this, running around and playing, you don't realize how much energy you actually do exert.
Well, and it is in part it's not just energy, but it's also the loss of the minerals and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's Torrey, looks like one of the Tories, and he is.
That hurts.
Yeah, it does seem to be cramping more than anything else. Walking off, but gingerly, shall we say. I remember, as a young adult, and this, fits in with football. I wasn't, as you know, I never played football competitively like this, but the other sports I did play, baseball, you don't really run into that as much. I mean, it gets plenty hot.
Right.
But, but in hockey, when I would find that I would get those cramping problems is when I would have this break. When you have a break between either a period or a game.
Right.
When you came back, that was when you sometimes would run into that problem. We've got flags, a throw. It is caught, and it is Wenson down the far sideline, breaks the tackle inside the 10. Now they're calling him out of bounds at the 18-yard line. I thought I saw a flag come out, but apparently not. Maybe it was a towel or something. I could have sworn I saw something. I thought maybe they had an illegal formation because they allowed the play to continue. But apparently nothing, so that's just going to go down as a completed pass. Kokta to Wenson, and it was a lot of what they call the yak, or yards after catch, down that far sideline inside the red zone down to the 18. Blue Jays in business again, trying to make it a 2-score game at least, certainly within field goal range. 1st and 10 from the Titan 18. Kokta with Wenson to his right, trips on the right side, a low snap. Kokta was able to field it and just got what he could back near the line of scrimmage. I don't know if that was intended to be a quarterback lead as what it turned out to be. I think it was probably just an improv after the low snap.
It sure looked like the old-fashioned student body left, didn't it?
But anyway, so yeah, just to finish the thought, like I said, when I would get a break, in my case, especially if I was reffing hockey and I had to go from one rink to another, and you just take your skates off, drive over there, put them back on, that I would really have issues with cramping sometimes in that next game. Pass down the far sideline, incomplete. Looking for Amarazi, and it was just a little bit too far overthrown, and Amarazi is slow in getting up. He is going to hobble his way off. It also looks like maybe a twisted ankle or maybe just a cramp.
Again, that was nice coverage over there.
Yeah, it's one-on-one coverage, which is tough. That is a tough assignment.
Is that Dorian Randolph that was over there, 6?
I believe so. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Empty backfield, back to throw, and able to elude one man is Kokta. He's able to get away from a second, but then he is swarmed under for no gain. And it'll be 4th down and 10, and I presume we're going to see a 4th field goal attempt here from Liberty, although you never know. It would make it a 9-point 2-score situation, so that is what they're doing. 35-yard attempt coming up. He's missed one and hit 2 from just inside the left hash mark toward the middle of the field. Out of the hold of Mortimer. The kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is good. 5:17 to go, 3rd period. Titans have given up a trio of field goals. They trail it 9-0. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this. This is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files. Here as Lee Summit West trails the Liberty Blue Jays 9-0. First time in the 2022 campaign the Titans find themselves down by more than a score. Need to find a way to get their offense moving and get back in this game. They've only had the ball once, and it was a 3-and-out on offense here in the second half with 5:17 left to go in the third quarter. You know, a good return would be nice, except we haven't gotten the chance.
This dead kicker's got a leg on him, man. It makes it tough to get a return when he drops it 7 yards into the end zone, 4 yards in the end zone. And, you know, that flag is not moving on the pole over there on the north end zone. So this is all this young man.
Yeah, it's pretty dead out there wind-wise.
Ozick has got a heck of a leg on him.
Again from the left hash mark. The kick high and deep and about 3 yards into the end zone for a touchback.
Getting tired.
I think we need to step up and block it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, again, that the Titans don't have an offense that is designed for 80-yard drives.
Right.
So that puts us, in a disadvantageous position.
Well, but here's what you can do if you're in condition.
Yeah.
You can pick your tempo up, get a couple plays called, just try to get after this defense a little bit and see if you can't beat them on speed to the ball and to the point of attack.
Wolverton from the shotgun, twins on either side, Mayo to his left. Man in motion, and the swing pass out on the right side. Not much room there, though, for Sims, and Tavion struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11. That one not a very well-designed play as it turned out in terms of he was just behind the 8 ball from the moment he got it.
Right.
There's no blocking in front of him. I don't know if they were trying. I mean, it was a swing pass, not really a screen. But we didn't really get that kind of slant motion by the line, and now Torrey is going to get knocked down in the backfield. Loss all the way back inside the 10-yard line as they were trying to do that end around. And I tell you what, you were talking about wearing defenses down. It looks more like it's the other way around.
Yep.
Right now anyway.
Yep, and just take a look at the number of white shirts that are in the box in front of that offensive line. I mean, you've got almost 8 guys, if not 9, in that box if you walk up the 2 safeties. The Titans are their own worst enemy right now. They've got to do something to spread this field a little bit and get those defensive backs and linebackers off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they've been trying to do plays like this one where they're trying to stretch out the defense by doing, either jet sweeps or in that case a quick toss. Sims, and he was able to get some of the yardage back. He gained about 6 on the play from the 9 up to the 16 or so, but it's still going to be, that was a 3rd down and 20 play. And that's the other thing is that they're basically daring the Titans to throw the football, and they're not doing it. Mayo from his goal line, and this is, I believe, his 4th or 5th straight punt. Oh, he dropped the snap. He is going to get tackled at the 1-yard line. It was a low snap, but he was unable to field it cleanly. And Liberty will take over 1st and 10 from the Titan 1. Maybe the 2. So things go from bad to worse there. On the positive side, the offense should get the ball back soon. I don't know. That's, again, we talked about this before where, his first game of the season oftentimes you do have your biggest issues on special teams. We had a high snap earlier, about 3 good snaps, and then that one was low. It was not so low that Mayo couldn't have fielded it, though. And he did field it, he just bobbled it. So 1st and goal from the 2. Kokta, man in motion, they give it to Wenson up the middle, touchdown. Anthony Wenson, 2 yards out. First touchdown given up by the Titans this year. With 3:48 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and they fall behind now 16-0 with the extra point to come. You know, it's a kind of weird situation there. You could kind of make an argument that Mayo might have been better off taking the safety there.
Yeah.
Because giving them the ball on the 1 yard line almost guarantees they're going to get a touchdown. Now, if you take a safety, you're giving up 2 points and they're going to get the ball, but they're going to get the ball after a kick as opposed to on the 1. As the extra point is good. And you never know, your defense could come up with a turnover or make a stop or whatever, but kind of academic at this point. 17-0 our score. It's just under 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff right after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com. Welcome back out here to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Mark Files. Lee Summit West and Liberty with the Blue Jays on top 17-0, a 2-yard run from Anthony Wenson. We'll get another kickoff coming up here from the big leg of Eli Ozick. And then the Titans will see whether or not they can get things untracked on offense. Ozick with the kick, and it will go into the end zone about 5 yards deep for a touchback. Titans will take over their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Summit West. So 3:48 to go here, 3rd quarter. The Titans on the road the next couple of weeks. Blue Springs next week?
Blue Springs next week.
So that's potentially a winnable game if the Wildcats are not a typical Blue Springs year.
Yeah, they've got a new coach over there as well, and they're awful young themselves. It's an interesting year in big class football here in Kansas City. So a lot of the perennial powers are in rebuild mode.
Trips out on the right side. One to the left, Mayo to the left of Wolverton. Back to throw. Throws near side. It's caught by Sims. He's able to get around the double team and make some yards out of it. Pickup of about 7. They'll give him up to the 27, 1st and 10. And tell you what, that's a good job by Tavion to make some pretty good positive yards over something that could have been pretty dangerous.
Oh, man.
He had 2 guys standing right around him. He just ran right around him.
That is that speed that we have been watching develop all summer.
2nd and 3. 2 H-backs this time. Man in motion, Torrey. They give it to Mayo right side. Off right tackle, the 1st down. Best run of the game for Mayo as he picks up across the 30 to the 32. A pickup of 5, 1st and 10. That's the first time the Titans have made a 1st down in I think about 3 drives.
Yep. I was making a joke earlier about the way the Titans needed to, know they had to hit the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they just now are really starting to get their legs underneath them as far as, hey, you're in a football game, guys. This is live. This is the real thing. Let's go get it.
Derek Miller on the catch there. First catch of the game for him. He's been targeted a couple times. And he pulls it down at the 38. It'll be second down and about 4 from there. They come up with, again, the double H-back situation, man in motion. Torrey goes back and then goes back to the H-back position again. Sims is the other guy, Mayo to the right of Wolverton. Back to throw, Wolverton throwing over the middle to the near side, caught by Weigel and out of bounds up near midfield. It'll be about the 47, 1st and 10, as the Titans getting a little something moving here. Trailing 16-0 with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Nice tempo.
Something for their fans to cheer about. They go trips on the right this time. One man on the left, Wolverton with Mayo to his right. Back to throw. He will throw over the middle to the right side.
Oh, what an effort.
What a try, but incomplete. Weigel on the attempt. He got hands on it, but couldn't come down with it.
Is that Weigel or was that Miller?
I thought it. No, it's Miller.
Those guys have
you
got
can tell
they
because
got a basically same build. He's limping again, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. You can tell because he's got that ankle issue. It's taped up. Made a great effort. Couldn't come down with it. So it'll be second down and 10. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Titans. I don't think they've been in Liberty territory since the first half.
That is exactly right.
Mayo on the toss sweep, and he was able to get around one step up, but hit before he got back to the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, maybe 2, and set up a third down and 12.
Yeah, that's definitely not David's strength, putting him on a sweep and trying to send him around in. He's got to focus on getting those shoulders square and going upfield between the tackles.
Well, and the other thing is we need to open up some holes for him. I mean, it's not Jim Brown.
Yep.
Jim can make his own holes. Trips on the left, Twins on the right. Empty backfield for Wolverton here on 3rd and 11. See if they may be in 4-down territory with the score. They throw it. It is caught and up ahead to near midfield, but shy by about a yard at the 49. Catch on the play over there by Halterman.
Pass is complete. Number 14, Dalton Halterman. Brings up 4th
and it'll be 4th and about 8. They're at the 49. They need the Liberty 43. And down 17-0, they'll go for it here. Again, the double H formation. Mayo to the left, man in motion is Sims. Back to throw, throwing far side. It's going to be intercepted. That was actually a mistake to intercept it. Ends up losing him about 8 yards. Still goes, looks good in the stats.
Yep.
Sean Wynn with the pickoff, but again, it's funny because they were all going over there and congratulating him and whatnot. But I assume at some point a coach might take him aside and say, on a 4th down play like that,
knock it down.
Yep. Now, on the other hand, if he'd run it back for a touchdown, everybody would have said, what a great idea.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where it depends on what the outcome is more than anything else. Well, the Titans moved the football at least. Got a couple of first downs, but then stalled out. Under a minute to go in the third quarter, and there is a flag this time on the play as the pass over on the near side to Revels is complete but knocked down, and I think this is going to be an illegal formation. But we'll wait for the indication. And that is, in fact, the call. Illegal formation against the Blue Jays. It'll cost them 5 yards. So the way we know it's an illegal formation as opposed to a false start, which is what the PA guy said, is that they allowed the play to go.
That's right.
It's the same signal. So 1st and 15 after the penalty. Twins on the right, one man wide on the left. Man in motion is Rebels. They give it to Wenson up the middle, and he breaks the tackle, gets a hole, gets up near midfield. Pretty good open field tackle there for the Titans and the free safety, Caden Carter, to stop him from getting to midfield, but it'll still be good for about a 9-yard gain and set up a 2nd and 6.
9-yard gain on the play.
Down to 50 seconds left to go in the quarter. They'll have to run at least another play.
Seeing a lot of skilled kids playing both ways tonight, getting a little experience on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I noticed that myself. They do that as well on the Liberty side. A little confusion about the formation. They're going to have to call timeout.
Ouch.
Again, first week of play, you get stuff like that. But it is how has anybody told Coach Horn that his hair is either going to turn gray or fall out?
Nope, he's well aware of that.
Doesn't matter how young you are, by the way.
That's right.
I mean, Royce was a little disadvantaged going into it in the first place. But think about Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
Went from, I'm sure he would say it just reverted back to its natural blonde. That's what I say. So 24.8 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Titans trailing 17-0. 2nd down and 6 after the timeout. Ball on the Blue Jay 49. Twins on either side, although one of them is an H-back, and they give it. No, it's a fake. And Kokta will slide forward after he gets a first down. Out to the 44-yard line. Good for a first down. He picked up about 8. He needed 6, and they can let the clock, I mean, they're stopping the clock to move the chains, but they can let the clock expire in this quarter. I don't know why they'd want to run another play. The officials have stopped the clock for some reason.
Got to get the chains set. They're having issues with the chains. Now we got an injured player down too.
Trying to see on which side.
I think it was
Fredrickson. Yeah, he's just sort of limping his way off. It's another cramp. So, again, they don't need to run a play. 10 seconds left. And it looks like we're going to go to the fourth quarter. Titans still looking for their first points. I think I keep saying it's 16-0 is our score.
Right.
3 field goals and a touchdown. And we've got 12 minutes of football left. We'll see what the Titans can do with it if they can break through onto the scoreboard in the fourth quarter. Trailing at 16-0 after 3 quarters of play. Fourth quarter after this on Titan Football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
We are back here at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Mark Files. Lee Summit West and Liberty. Blue Jays leading the Titans 16-0. As we start the fourth quarter of play, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays from the Titan 44. Wonder how often, the thing is with high school, that slide doesn't mean the same thing as it does in NFL football. Now, he is down because once you go down, you're down. But it's not the same thing. as they will play a little razzle-dazzle here, and they toss it to Revels on the right side, and he's able to drag Carter all the way down inside the 35 down to about the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 29 as they went the direct snap to Wenson, tossed to Kukta, and then to Revels. Interesting to choose to do that as you open up the fourth quarter when you're up 16-0.
Yeah, you got to put it on tape so people watch it. That's
what I was thinking. Yeah. They're doing another little razzle-dazzle play. Same formation. Again, they give it, and it's going to be Wenson up the middle. Breaks the tackle. He's hit and knocked down inside the 20, down to about the 16. Titan player lost his helmet. He's going to have to come off for a play.
Run on the play is good enough for a first down for Liberty.
Gain down inside the red zone down to the 16. First and 10 for Liberty from there, and the Titans appear to be a bit tired and a bit dejected the last couple of plays.
They are getting worked over right now for sure by that big offensive line.
First time under center, toss to Wenson on the right side, breaks one tackle, and then he's double teamed and knocked down after a gain of maybe 2. Somebody has a cheering section.
It's on our side of the ball. I don't know what they got going on down there.
I'm guessing they have somebody performing for them down over there. It'll be second and let's call it 7 as the ball down to about the 18. That's where they gave him forward progress. Again under center and a fake toss throwing on the near side. It is caught. Amarazi, touchdown. Touchdown Liberty from, let's say, 13 yards out on the pass from Kukta. And it is 22-0 with the extra point to come. You know, the thing is, like we've talked about before, all of this stuff, whatever happens, first game, second game, ninth game, is just a learning experience for these players. And so when you're in a situation like this, this is something that they'll get to learn from and then eventually build on later on in the season.
I've seen a lot of good things tonight to build on. I mean, it's evident that you're playing young players, and there is a little bit difference in the strength of the players for sure.
Ozik's kick is good, and so it's 23-0 with 10:23 left to go in the fourth quarter of play. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this. Titan football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com. I was not a math major in college. I was a philosophy major in undergrad and media communications in grad school, but 16 plus 7 is 23, right?
Wait a minute, let me take my shoes and socks off.
The scoreboard said 25 for about that whole 30 seconds we were off the air, but they have since changed it.
It's all right. And the guy's in there. I won't say what school district they're from. That's not fair. Won't do that.
Mark has a cricket on his back.
A cricket? Oh, my gosh. Be nice to him. It's my pet.
Now you have no conscience anymore.
That's right.
Jiminy
the Cricket's gone, isn't
Jiminy.
it? Ben, do you know who Jiminy the Cricket is? He shakes his head. That's good.
Okay. Actually, aren't they coming out with a new Pinocchio movie or something?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
No, I think they're right about to, Disney.
I think I'll make that live character's nose grow, man.
Boy, that one went out of bounds.
Woohoo!
So the Titans catch a break here. They're going to get the ball at the 40-yard line. First time since the literal first drive of the game that they're going to have good field position to start a drive. I was just thinking that this is Ozik's first time kicking off this direction. And so with 10:23 left to go in the and regulation time in the fourth quarter, actually it'll be the 35. They'll get the ball 1st and 10, second best field position of the game for the Titans to start a drive. They could make him kick it again.
Yeah, or they could just decline it and take the ball right there, you know.
So on 1st and 10, Wolverton hands off, trying to go up the middle, and Quincy gains, did a good job of getting anything on that. Gains about 3 up to the 38. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from there.
There's only one way to get 3. That's a hard way, right?
Well, on that play it was. Like I said, we talked about, you know, they're good things and not as good things to talk about after this game will eventually be over. One of the things they definitely need to work on as far as those front 5 is concerned is opening up some holes. That's something they've had a hard time doing. Wolverton chased in the backfield and sacked. They just ran out of time at some point in that situation because he had the time to throw it, but he just couldn't find anybody, and eventually Endefor was able to catch up to him and knock him back for a yard or 2 loss. It'll be 3rd down and 9, loss at 2. Clock running with 9:20 left to go. Titans again come out with double H. Now a man in motion. That's Torrey. Looking left side. Rolling left. Now throwing Wolverton. He's got a man, and it is incomplete.
And a pass interference.
But we do have a flag in the pass interference. The intended receiver was Miller, and he did have it in his hands, it looked like. Was unable to hold on, but he was also hit before he got the ball. And so the Titans will get a 1st down via the penalty on this one. And for the first time since the first half of play, we'll have the ball inside Blue Jay territory. Should have it at the 49, I would imagine. They haven't walked it off yet, but when they do, it goes just across the midfield stripe to the 49, really 49, 48 and a half. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Titans. Just under 9 minutes left to go.
Ball spun on the 49, 1st and 10 Titans.
Not a bad throw by Wolverton.
No.
Man in motion, high snap. He pulls it down, gets it out to Miller again, but he was hit immediately. Not much of a good spot as far as the forward progress, because he really had the ball right around the original line of scrimmage. But they mark him at the 49 of the Titans, so a loss of 2. So they had 1 play in Blue Jay territory, and they're now back in their own side. 2nd down and 12. Titans go with twins on either side. Sims in motion to the left. Now pulling it down Wolverton, and he's hit and tackled as he got back across midfield to the 49 of the Blue Jays, and he'll set up a 3rd down. Boy, another really shy stop there, because he clearly got to the 49. They gave him.
Wait, they gave him the 50? Oh,
yeah.
They did. Wow.
Yeah. That was a not generous spot at all. So it'll be 3rd and 11. It is technically in Blue Jay territory, so this will be the 2nd play inside Liberty side of the field in the 2nd half. Sims in motion, back to throw. Throwing and caught, 1st down. Torrey breaks the tackle inside the 30, and he goes out of bounds. Let's see where he stepped out. They give him the 28. Longest play from scrimmage for the Titans this year.
Gives every crowd something to cheer about there.
Quincy Torrey makes the catch, and then a good job of yards after catch to give the Titans their deepest penetration since the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the Liberty 28. Mayo, we got false start.
Everybody was moving but the man with the ball, which is called the center.
So that's another thing that, again, learning, teaching situation or whatever as they call it. Whenever, the worst thing that you hate to see as a coach is when your team does something well and immediately gives some of it back for no good reason. It's one thing if the other team gets great penetration and stops you or whatever, but when it's an unforced error like that, again, that's why bald or gray for coaches. Throw on the far side, and it is caught. And once again, Miller making the catch as he tiptoes along the sideline, was knocked out immediately inside the 25 at about the 24. It'll gain back the 5 yards and a few yards more, 2nd and 7 on a pickup of 8 for Miller.
It's good to see those two guys get on the same page. They were struggling there in the first half on those deeper routes.
He's become his favorite target recently, and he throws that way again, and that time he threw it out of bounds. A little behind and over the head of Miller.
3rd and 7, Titans.
It'll be 3rd down and 7. That's the only problem with quarterbacks when you start really liking one particular receiver.
Yeah, they draw attention, don't they? Double coverage.
Well, first of all, there's that, and second of all, you can sometimes get that tunnel vision going,
right,
where you don't even notice people who are open on the other side. So 3rd down and 7.
That really happens when you're on that short side of the field too.
Sims is in motion to that same side of the field. They try and toss it out, swing pass to Sims. Tavion knocked out of bounds as he gets inside the 25 down to about the 23. It's only a pickup of maybe a couple. They're giving him the 22, and it'll set up a 4th down and about 4 from there. It's really just outside the 22. They've got to get to the 18, just inside the 18. So really 4th and 4. Obviously they go for it here. Clock is down to 6:27 in regulation time. Wolverton with time. He'll throw and incomplete as he was, again, off on a different page from Miller. And a turnover on downs for the Titans. They'll take their water timeout here with 6:22 left to go in regulation time. Deepest penetration for the Titans, but this is again what happens when it's the first week of the year. There, hasn't been as much reps in game type situations, no jamboree, and so on, and that's how receivers and quarterbacks get off on completely different pages.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that you and I talked about is not having that live contact, and we've mentioned that a couple different times tonight. The game day speed, you can't replicate it in practice. There's just no way. Especially when you're trying to protect your quarterback. You don't want anybody hitting your quarterback. We saw that a couple times where the defensive linemen, defensive ends pulled up and stopped right in front of the Liberty quarterback, and he was able to make a pass and make a completion. And they won't make those mistakes next week. I mean, that's something you can coach them up on, and the kids will get more used to the tempo now. They've experienced it. They just have to figure out how to play on the road next week, which will be a new experience for a lot of these guys.
Yeah. Although it's not like they didn't play, JV and have road games there.
Yeah, but you and I agree it is definitely different on Friday night. There's a little bit of extra energy. You have a tendency to get tired a little quicker.
That is definitely true. And on the jet sweep going end around again is Rebels. And he will get across the 25. They'll give him the 27. It'll be a pickup of 4, 2nd and 6. Not sure why the clock is stopped. They get it going, but I don't know why. At any rate, down to 6:15 left to go in regulation time. 2nd down and 6. Again, Rebels in motion. They give it up the middle this time. Wenson, and he sidesteps. Looks for a hole, finds one, gets across the 30. Shy of the first down, but only by a couple yards. It'll be 3rd and a short 2 from just across the 30-yard line.
Brings up 32 for Liberty.
Yes, sir. You said this numerous times already. It's all about getting better each week and getting ready for that second season, which is the playoffs. And I've seen a lot of good things tonight. I know there's a lot to work on, but I've also seen a good foundation. That's for sure.
Well, plays like that one, as Wenson on the call, and he is knocked back for a loss. As once again, penetration by Devin Wilson, stepping up into the backfield and making a good open field tackle. And it looks like for the first time in the game, as it turns out, the Blue Jays are going to punt. They had an attempted punt, but they ended up getting a penalty running into the kicker. The Titans did, and so that doesn't go down as an actual punt attempt because it doesn't count. So standing back inside the 14, the first punt is away and will come down at about the 28. Trying to go the right side of the field, and I believe this is Hoffman, and he was hit out of bounds by a good couple of yards there.
Yeah, the referee had already thrown his flag.
And there are a couple flags down, but to be quite honest, like I said, this is going to come back on the Titans, but I think they could very easily have called 2, offsetting penalties on this. Because he was clearly out of bounds. It wasn't a big hit. He didn't get creamed or anything like that, but you're still not allowed to do it. I mean, it was an intentional hit, we'll put it that way.
Yep.
Shoulder to shoulder. Wasn't, mean or even all that aggressive, but it's still illegal. But it doesn't matter. The Titans are the ones getting called for the hold. And so what would have been pretty good field position for the Titans at about the 37 will come back to the 27. So Wolverton out there in the shotgun with Trips on the left side, Mayo to his left as well. One man on the right, man in motion is Torrey. He's looking that direction. Quincy makes the catch, breaks a tackle, and gets forced out of bounds up at the 30-yard line. Well, a lot of effort for a pickup of 2.
Oh, wow.
2nd down and 8. But you gotta praise Quincy Torrey for playing, this is a 23-0 game he's playing in, and he is literally fighting for every yard he can get.
Most definitely. I really like the effort that they're putting in there, and they're making it happen.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see the kids playing hard and striving to get better and learn each time they go out.
Wolverton back to throw. He is flushed out of the pocket to the left side. He's going to run and gets across the 30, breaks the tackle, and gets to the 36.
Wolverton on the quarterback keeper.
His original contact was maybe at about the 34, so he picked up an extra couple of yards, sets up a 3rd down and 2, really a long one.
3rd and 2 for Lee Summit West.
And again, good effort for the quarterback when he didn't have anybody to throw to. Man in motion, and they give it to him, and this is going to be a 1st down for Quincy Torrey, as he needed a little over a yard, got about 5 up to the 43.
And also number 25, Quincy Torrey.
3:15 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Titans trailing 23-0.
1st and 10 Titans.
Man in motion again is Torrey. Back to throw Wolverton. He will throw and has a man over the middle, but incomplete. He was looking for Weagle and overthrew him.
Pass incomplete, number 17, Lance Weagle.
Stops the clock with 2:56 left to go. I know this is, because we have the time to talk about it. if you're the Titans and you get the ball down to the 15-yard line and there's 3 seconds left to go, do you kick the field goal?
No.
Just to get on the board and not get shut out?
No, because it doesn't even help you with the playoff numbers. I mean, you just go ahead and try to get a score.
Wolverton back, thrown over the middle, and it is intercepted off of the intended receiver. This is possibly a pick six. It will be into the end zone, touchdown. As Moberly got himself a gift. That was intended for Randolph, Damon Randolph, number 7. And it went off of his hands and it just popped right into the outstretched arm of Dane Moberly, who just cruised down the inside sideline into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a tough play there, but again, they're going to learn from that.
Yeah. It's interesting because Wolverton now has thrown 2 interceptions, and neither one of which were really of any significance. I mean, that is to say, the first one was on a 4th down play, so who cares?
Right.
And that one wasn't in any way his fault. I mean, he literally put it in the arms of the receiver. It's not his fault. He went right through it. Extra point is up, and it is good. 2:46 left to go, regulation time. Titans fall a little bit further behind, 30-0 the score. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
Woo! You got.
Welcome back out to Titans Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West Liberty. Titans trailing the Blue Jays 30-0. This is one of those games where the score is not in any way indicative of the level of play of the game. This is not a game where you feel like the Titans were just absolutely blown out.
We're sitting here. Can't figure out why we're high.
Oh, because the heater's on, yeah.
What's going on?
So anyway, like I said, 30-0. That sounds like just a complete domination, and that really isn't what's been going on.
Yeah, that happened here in the last couple of minutes for sure.
It's not that, don't get me wrong. The Titans were outplayed in the game, and they did not deserve to win or anything like that. As this one will go about 9 yards deep in the end zone for a touchback. But it was a close game. It was a one-score game for most of the first half into the second half. And, they eventually, as the game has worn on, the Titans have gotten more worn out, and it shows in the scoreboard. But it's not like this is a game that, Liberty just piled on, 4 first-quarter touchdowns and never looked back or something like that.
No, it's... Again, these two teams, if they'd meet again in the district playoffs, I think it's going to be a different ball game. I think it'll be a lot closer. The Titans may not win it, but I guarantee it's not going to be a 30-point spread.
Yeah, I would hope so. We're expecting to see progress over the course of the year. Mayo on the give, up the middle, was able to get across the line of scrimmage to the 22.
And off to number 8, David Mayo.
We're coming up on 2.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, we really haven't seen what you were talking about before with Mayo getting stronger as the game went on. It's not so much that he hasn't gotten stronger, it's just they haven't
been in the lanes.
Yeah, there's been nowhere for him to go. Like I said before, at some point during the week, they're really going to have to talk about opening up those holes and giving him somewhere to run. Back to throw, Wolverton throwing near side, incomplete. He was looking for Halterman and threw it a little wide. So the thing, like I said, with Mayo, as you were talking about, you can't, do toss sweeps with him or whatever. I mean, he's a guard-to-guard guy, or tackle-to-tackle at best.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to open those holes up. And he's a big guy, which means they can't open up a little hole. They have to open up a big enough hole for him to get through.
I think I used this analogy of him last year. You know, it reminds me of Larry Johnson. He used to run with the Chiefs and played at Penn State.
Tie head up one. Halterman drops it. Incomplete. Had it, was hit, and dropped it. So it'll be 3rd down and 8. Clock stopped with 1:57 left to go. That'll set up a 4th and 8, and so punting situation for the Titans. Still trying to get 11 guys out there. Play clock down to 7. Already did take a delay of game. Bit of a high snap. Mayo gets it, kicks it. High, end over end, a bit. Decent kick. Oh, and it's dropped. Loose football. And the Titans pick it up. So, something to cheer about toward the end of the game, as Wenson just dropped it. And Johnny on the spot was Taylor Fitzgerald. Makes the recovery at the 35 of the Blue Jays.
There it is. Turnover they were looking for.
Yep.
That's a positive. There's some hustle on that.
We just needed it 3 quarters ago.
Exactly.
So we'll see what they do with it, though, because now they've got a new life to try and get some points on the board. Trips on the left. Back to throw Wolverton. He'll throw that direction, almost through an interception. Ends up getting caught by Miller. Boy, what a weird play that one was. As it went right through the defender's hands. He possibly had a pick 6 right there. He definitely had a pick. It might have been a pick 6. And he just missed it entirely. I guess it looked like a watermelon to him, and it was a football. So it's a pickup of 2. It went through his hands, and then Miller made a great little diving catch to get it. Swing pass, Sims, and he'll get across the 30 down to about the 28 before he's soufflexed down. A gain of 7 for Tavion, and it'll set up a 3rd and 4. Clock down to a minute left to go.
You're right. That defensive back, I mean, he had his arms wide open, going to go for it, and just swiped and missed it on that first down play.
3rd and 4. Wolverton back to throw. With time throws, it's knocked down. And possibly knocked away from another potential interception.
Yep.
This is why the Titans aren't a pass every down team. But Endafor actually knocked it away from Craig, his own teammate. And let's see. Did they call a timeout? Yeah, it looks like the Titans called a timeout to figure out what they're going to do. Well, they had. This is the question. They could actually go for a field goal here. It would be a 45-yarder.
Nah.
4th and 4.
Nah.
44.9 seconds left to go.
You still got 2 timeouts. 44 seconds. Work some offense.
When I say that, I'm not saying
I know you are.
In that situation, I wouldn't be doing it to get it to stop the shutout. I would be doing it to see if my kicker can kick a 45-yard field goal in a game situation. Because that's the other thing is that, he had one other try, and he kind of didn't hit it quite right.
Right.
And so I might have thought about doing that just for future.
This offense needs needs snaps at scrimmage, live action. That's what they need. They got to build some confidence for sure.
Well, they'll get it here on 4th and 4. Empty backfield for Wolverton. He's got Twins on the left, Trips on the right. Back to throw, rolling right side. He'll throw. It is caught. 1st down. And inside the 20, down to about the 13. Finally, with the catch there, Halterman making his 2nd catch of the game.
Is that 11 or 14? I think you're right. It's 14.
That was 14. 11's not in the field. So on 1st down, man in motion, rolling left side Wolverton. He's looking. He will throw, and he threw it away. And he was hit pretty late after the play.
Yes, he was.
No flag comes out. It'll stop the clock with 23 seconds left to go. But again, you know, there's something good about that. I mean, you never want to see your quarterback get taken down. But again, it's just another one of those situations like we were talking about, to just give him that experience, to know what it's like to get hit and to, you know, throw the ball to make a play or whatever. In that case, he was throwing it away, and I'm not so sure there shouldn't have been a call. But like I said, you still look for the silver lining. Wolverton back, looking left side. He'll throw, and it is caught. And Miller gets inside the 5, down to about the 2. They'll stop the clock to move the chains, and I think the Titans will call timeout here as well. 15 seconds left to go, and they're going to have first and goal for the first time. The only drawback to calling timeout here is it gives the Liberty coaches the opportunity to tell their defense,
hey,
you better step it up here.
Yeah.
If you want to keep your shutout. By the way, unfortunately, if the Titans were in this situation, I would never have said the word shutout, as you well know. But it doesn't work the other way.
Yeah.
I learned that a long time ago. For example, you know, if you wash your car, it will rain. But if you want it to rain and then you go out and wash your car, it doesn't work. Washing your car to make it rain.
So the missed kick early is because I made the comment, we've got some good kickers on this team.
Obviously.
So it's definitely my fault. I'll take the blame for that.
You're fine. On the other hand, the timeout did give them a chance to figure out what they're going to do here on offense. They do have one more timeout left, and 15.2 seconds, first and goal. Will they try and run it in? Man in motion. They do toss it to Torrey, trying to find a way in. He is spun down as he gets down to the 3, and the Titans will burn their last timeout with 9.7 seconds left to go. Now, if we were at Staley, I could safely say we have time for 3 more plays.
That would be a lifetime, wouldn't it?
9.7 seconds, that's 3 plays. At an average of 3.1 seconds per play. How many people are you supposed to have any idea what I'm talking about?
Probably not many, man.
I mean, how long ago was that?
That was 2011.
Yeah. So we're talking about 11 years ago.
Yeah.
You have to be a pretty diehard Titan fan to remember the 76-70 overtime loss at Staley, in which they got 2 plays in 3.9 seconds to tie it up and send it to overtime. Let's see what they do here. Back to throw Wolverton, throwing right side, and it is intercepted. He was looking for Miller in the end zone. And Moberly picks up the second time of the game. And so the Titans will eventually go to the locker room without any points, it would sure seem. Technically, there's 6.3 seconds left. They could have a bad snap here, and anything could happen.
They made it exciting, though.
They did. It all came off of a turnover, a muffed punt. And they ended up with first and goal for the first time. But Wolverton, I'm a little surprised that they didn't, try. I mean, I guess you have to throw it because that gives you an opportunity to
dink it, get rid of it, so you got one more play.
And try another play. So victory formation, the kneel, and that'll do it. The first week of the 2022 season is history, and the Titans still looking for their first points of the season. They drop one to the Blue Jays from Liberty, 30-0. Our final score. We'll take a quick break, wrap things up when we come back here on Titan Football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Liberty with the Blue Jays winning this one 30-0, the final score. Mark Files has our final numbers.
Final numbers, my friend. They weren't pretty, but we'll talk about them anyway. Liberty, the visitors, the Blue Jays, had 240 yards in total offense. They ran 60 plays. They averaged 4 yards per play. They had 141 yards through the air. They were 15 of 23, averaged 9.4 yards per pass. They did have the one touchdown pass to their fine receiver, number 1. Rushing attempts, they had 99 yards on 37 attempts. And the leaders for this bunch, Kuchta, you want to say that? Is how we say his last name? That's the first time I've attempted to say it.
I think it was Kuchta was what I was calling it.
He was 15 of 23 for 141 yards and a TD. You had Anthony Winson that had 85 yards on 25 carries, 3.4 yards per carry, and he did have one touchdown. And then Ricky Amarazi had 48 yards on 5 catches and one touchdown. For the Titans, they were able to pound out 167 yards on offense. They did run 63 plays, but they averaged 2.7 yards per play. They had 121 yards through the air. They were 20 of 35, averaged 6.1 yards per pass, but they did have the 3 interceptions for turnovers. On the ground, they had 46 yards on 28 attempts, averaged 1.6 yards per carry. That's got to improve. And as for the individual stats, Wolverton at quarterback was 20 of 35 for 121 yards, 3 INTs. Quincy Torrey, 11 rushes for 28 yards, was the leader. And he also led the team in receiving with 32 yards on 3 catches. Derek Miller had 6 receptions, but had 24 yards. And that is your stats for tonight's ball game.
All right, so I'm trying to look up some Missouri scores for you. Some of them have been updated well and some of them not so much. Fordo on top of Grain Valley, 23-14. That's a third quarter score. Let's see what else I can find. One's here from Preps KC. Blue Springs and Staley, 34-14. That's a fourth quarter score for Staley on top of Blue Springs. That, of course, is the Titans' opponent next week, Blue Springs. So hopefully that's something that they can do something with. Oak Park, 41-0 over Winnetonka. That's a final. William Crispin and Grandview, they never did give us a score for that one. Let's see. Trying to go through all. They list the Lee Summit West Liberty score as 0-0, so we know a little better.
We know that just a little better.
So let's see. Let's go with more of the Preps KC stuff. Belton beats Excelsior Springs 21-11 is the final there. We've got Kearney and Platte County knotted up at 14 with 52 seconds left to go. How about that? Blue Springs South ends up beating Lee Summit 45-27.
That's a little bit of an upset there.
Final in Liberty North. It was at Liberty North. 17-7 over Lee Summit North. So looks like a clean sweep of the Lee Summit district tonight in football. Wonder when's the last time that happened?
Last year.
Well, I mean, you know.
It did.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
But it's not a common thing.
Right.
Am I allowed to say what the Liberty North score is since it was at Liberty North? Or somebody going to come arrest me now?
No, you can say it. You can say that. They won't arrest you. Did you see the? Did you give the Park Hill? Did you give the Park Hill Trojan score against Battle?
The 58-38.
58-38. Wow.
Yeah. I hadn't. No, that's what it is. Columbia Hickman 14-0 over North Kansas City at the half is the latest we have over there. Let's see. St. Pius 27-0 over Pembroke. Boonville. Sorry, didn't go well. The game's not over yet, but it is over. 47-14 Pleasant Hill in the fourth quarter there with about 4 minutes left to go. Smithville beats Raytown 28-12. That's a third quarter score.
That's a state champion coming out to defend their title there.
How about this? Ray-Peck and Rockhurst, your alma mater, 33-26 over the Hawklets.
The Panthers, led by Sean Martin, are not intimidated by the Rock, led by Donahoe and Cruz.
7:22 to go, fourth quarter. St. Joe Central, 49-14 over Ruskin. Let's see. Raytown South Truman, 40-20. Halftime score.
That must have been a turbo clock, maybe?
I don't know. Like I said, a lot of this stuff hasn't really updated like you would hope. But anyway, so, all right. Well, next week it's off to Blue Springs. You know, they get beaten by – is Staley up to Class 6 yet? I thought they're still Class 5.
I'll have to go in and look at it again. The way they shuffled the district or the conferences, it would lead you to believe that Park Hill South and Staley both moved up to Class 6.
Okay. So – I mean, either way, they were always a very good Class 5 team anyway. But they didn't have a whole lot of trouble with Blue Springs. But on the other hand, you know, we're still a real young team trying to learn our way around. So you know, it's certainly not going to be a walk in the park next week either.
That's right. And it was a quick team meeting, and the coaches cut the boys loose and they're getting ready for next week. They've already forgot this week, except for the film review in the morning, I'm sure.
We figured out a way to get Coach Driscoll a microphone for these things.
Yeah. We've talked about it. Nah, we don't want to do that.
Nah. Plus, I don't want to make things any more difficult for Coach Horn. What did you think, though, debut game? Like I said, the score is not indicative of the closeness of the game. It was not a blowout the way the score would indicate. It was not again, they did get outplayed and they deserved to lose. Let's not be, you know, we're not going to kid ourselves here. But at the same time, like I said, it was literally, you know, nothing through most of the first quarter. It was a one-score game going into the third quarter.
Right.
You know, and it wasn't until toward the end of the, you know, midway through the fourth quarter where it became a blowout type score.
Yeah,
but it is indicative that this team needs to work on its stamina and whatnot as well, because they did get worse as the game got on.
They did, and there was a lot of that comes back to the guys that were playing both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a new experience for some of them, I'm sure, especially at this level. And so, in all fairness to the kids, I thought the effort was there. I saw them competing. So that's a positive. I think the coaches had the kids prepared. The kids have just got to make plays, okay? And that's what they're going to build on week in and week out, is getting them to that next level. And this is no knock on the kids. It's all about Jimmys and Joes. You got to have the right combination of kids to make it happen. And it doesn't mean everybody has to be five-star athletes. It's getting the kids doing their job, working as a cohesive unit of 11 players on one side of the ball, and they're not there yet, but it's getting better.
It is, but it's not. I mean, it goes even beyond that, because it's just at this point it's a matter of a combination of technique and just bulking up to a little bit of a degree, because I mean, think about how much you know, from a defensive standpoint, we were swarming around the ball.
Right.
That happened constantly. there were times in which they were able to get yards anyway because we're talking about big kids trying to, run over small kids. And it's the way it happens in high school football. That's, or really anything in high school, you run into that. It's in hockey, I used to always talk about one of the things I hated about when they started introducing face masks into hockey was that it allowed a ninth grader to go up against a senior who was a foot and a half taller and lead with his face, which I don't think is ever a good idea.
No.
But you're always going to have that discrepancy, and especially when you've got a young team. And so I thought they did a great job in terms of swarming to the ball and doing and now it's just a matter of knowing how to finish those plays off.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to is learning how to finish and complete drives. That's what it's all about. I'm encouraged by the defense. I thought the defense played very well, especially in the first half. And I understand that Liberty may not be that, that Liberty North, Lee Summit North, easy for me to say, or Ray Peck, but I saw a lot of good things, and I'm encouraged by what I saw. And the best part is when we find out tomorrow if we got through healthy. That's the main thing.
It's like we talked about before. This is going to be a season of building on previous weeks and whatnot. And that's the tough thing about it is that on the one hand you want to see the team improve and you think that they can. Sometimes it's a good thing to get punched in the mouth a little bit when you play football because it gives you a level of humility that football needs. You have to you have to know that you can't just show up and win. But on the flip side of that, you also don't want to end up with a demoralized team who doesn't feel like they can accomplish things. And so it's there's a lot to be happy about in this game.
Oh, there is, and I am encouraged. I can't wait to get home and watch some of the other games that were on 8-10 tonight to find out, hey, Blue Springs, Blue Springs South was supposed to be down and coming back. I had heard that they had Lee Summit West type numbers. New coach came in this year. 198 kids went out for football.
Wow.
Okay, that's freshman through senior, of course. Yeah. And of course, it's a no-cut sport. So it'll be interesting to see how many kids they've got on the sidelines when we see them when they bring their travel squad for sure.
So next week on the road at Blue Springs, we'll be outside. I guess it's a good thing.
We'll be on the porch.
It's a good thing it'll be September.
Yes.
Early September, unless it's raining.
Yep. Well, even if it is raining, there's enough of a ledge there we can get back out from underneath the weather.
No, we'll be fine. But at any rate, we hope you can join us. If you don't make the trip up to Blue Springs from Lee Summit, then you can join us right here on 810varsity.com and also on lswradio.com. Appreciate all the great work for the folks that get this on the air. Our new cameraman / intern
Ben
/ whatever else we could make him do.
Thespian, you got a big play or one-act plays, or is that what's coming on? And that's next Friday night and Saturday night? Okay.
So does that mean you're not going to be here Friday night? Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. We're going to get our road guy.
You'll have to find a...
Yeah, you're going to miss it. We're doing steaks next week for dinner.
Ooh.
And you can't put ketchup on the steak unless your name's Patrick Mahomes.
Oof.
There you go.
And then it's not a steak, it's a Whataburger.
That's it.
All right, for Mark Files, Joel Becker. Final score, 30-0. The Liberty Blue Jays over your Lee Summit West Titans. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. This has been Titan Football, a presentation of Backporch Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.